I
Yeah.
haven't seen Crash.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 106 of the Looks Like a Movie podcast. My name is Kevin. I'm here with Doug and Owen, and today we're talking about The Monkey, and we're making our Oscar picks and predictions. But first, as always, we can talk about what we watched this past week. Owen, would you like to go first, since I don't think Doug is ready?
No, I got it.
Yeah, Doug's not
You can
ready.
go. Let's
I
go,
can see
Owen.
Doug's monitor in his double team poster.
You can't see it.
um, a little more. I don't know. I guess I was about to say more productive week, but last week was kind of productive. I watched another one of those Joan Micklin Silver movies that was on Criterion, Crossing Delancey. This one's really good as well. I definitely like um Chilly Scenes of Winter more, but this one was really good. Just different vibes. I watched this movie Places in Cities, which is like this like micro budget kind of German movie from the 90s that I just like kind of stumbled upon because I was like, oh, this is kind of the description kind of had a vibe that I was like looking for, so I wanted to check it out. It was all right. Nothing like anything crazy. I saw Paddington Peru on my birthday because
That's so jolly.
yeah, I was like, I was trying to find my, because I know my mom wanted to see it, um, and then that it just worked out that that was the best day for us to go. I actually was pretty. I know Kevin, you saw it as well,
Yeah.
and we've kind of talked about it a little on here. Um, and I was happy with it. It's tough because Paul King and Sally Hawkins obviously aren't in the film, and that's kind of why everyone like wasn't super hyped for it because it's like, okay, like
Yeah.
it's it's still like at the end of the day it is a kids franchise, and like they're gonna make the movies because they're gonna make money, but it does like it suck to like kind of lose that kind of a
And
lot of
also like a
reasoning.
new Paddington movie will still like make like a little kid happy. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a
What's like
yeah.
Yeah.
the end goal for them is not like Sally Hawkins doesn't really harm that. And it is like it's just like kind of a thing where like franchises of all kinds, the longer they go on, that most times they like just kind of dip in quality. So it was kind of natural to expect this one to be the worst one, and it still is. But I was really surprised with Dougal Wilson as a director, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy like knows what he's doing to an extent. Like it's like it like there's it was it was like a I don't know. There was some cool stuff. Like there's like this whole sequence where like there's clouds and like they're in the clouds. I don't know how to describe it really, but they were like it definitely like I think music video directors sometimes can have um interesting visual language that they can bring for sure. Like there's notable guys who have
Of
made that
course.
transition for sure. Yeah, but I was like, I mean, it's just you don't really know what to expect from a guy who's never made a a feature like this, just from music videos. So I don't really know what to expect, and I definitely could have seen a version of this movie that was way less interesting visually. And then there's just like a lot of fun callbacks to like there's this direct Buster Keaton reference that like I posted on Twitter because I found someone like made like they like put the two together. But like when that happened, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like it's really fun to be watching a film in theaters that's funny. Everyone in the family can have a good time with it, but also it's like directly referencing Buster Keaton, and there's like all these fun like tie-ins to like film history and stuff like that. So yeah, I enjoyed that. It's the worst one, but it's not a bad movie at all. I think if you like Paddington, you're probably gonna like that movie. Um, then I watched. It was kind of going back into that Places in Cities, Crossing Delancey kind of thing, where I watched Portrait of a Young Girl at the end of the '60s in Brussels. This is I was assuming because of the budget and the kind of just the vibe of the whole project that it was an early Ackerman film. It just has the feeling of like a film that she would make or just someone would make when they are, you know, not able to get a lot of funds and they're kind of it was one of their first films, and it was a film actually made in the '90s. So it's
Yeah.
it's much later in her filmography and her career, but it has kind of this energy of an early feature, of an early work, which I thought was interesting. But very like Godard inspired. Uh, that like kind of, but from a a different lens for sure. So yeah, that was really great. I want to. I'm trying to like. I actually asked. I kind of proposed this question on Twitter, and I was like, "What are people's favorite Ackerman films besides like the top two?" Because I love Jean Dielman so much, and I love News from Home, and there's a bunch of them I really love. But then there's the rest of the filmography I don't really know how to approach, and I'm trying to find like the specific feeling that I have from Jean Dielman, and it feels like she kind of goes in a lot of different directions, and so I'm trying to find a certain vibe, and I think that the one I watched, the Portrait of a Young Girl, has a similar aspect to it that I definitely liked, and it definitely is like a good reference point for me in what I'm working on, because it is very much that like walk around the city, just like fuck around Godard bullshit, that I'm into. And then I will watch some, a bunch of stuff from school. I rewatched My Own Private Idaho for class. We were doing like a whole Gus Van Sant day, which was really funny because the week before I was talking about his Psycho film, and I was talking about how much I liked his work, and then the teacher kind of just like put all of his movies on like the board and was like going through them, and she's like, oh, and then she talked like just kind of was like talking about how like I liked the Psycho movie, and I was like, oh, okay. Then we watched The Monkey, of course, and then yesterday I snuck in two Woody Allen movies that I hadn't seen. Broadway
Oh,
Danny
Stuck
Rose.
into.
you snuck
Okay.
into.
Yes, yes,
Not
yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
I
right,
was like,
right.
you snuck into a movie.
I was like,
No,
what are you
no,
talking
no,
about?
no, no. No, I had
Like, he didn't want anybody to know that he got tickets for a Woody Allen movie, so yeah.
no, I had some time in between things, and I was like, oh, I can fit these in. I watched Broadway Danny Rose and Zelig or Zelig. Um, they're both good. They're like kind of, I don't know. It's interesting because you kind of, once you start watching a bunch of them, they start kind of a little blending together. But also, I mean, Zelig's very interesting because it's like fake. It's like a fake documentary. The whole place is very like it's the formal kind of approach is like it's a documentary, but it's also a Woody Allen movie. So it's interesting. I wasn't like blown over the moon. I think I talked to some people, and I know some people really like that one a lot. But it wasn't my
Praise?
favorite of his. And Broadway Danny Rose also like wasn't. It's like kind of towards the bottom of the ones I've seen, but I really love Gordon Willis as a cinematographer, especially like I mean I know he's been talked about, like he's obviously talked about this high level, but I specifically like his black and white photography, and the stuff that he does with Woody Allen in black and white is like really beautiful. Like he obviously did the Godfather trilogy, but those are all in color, and I specifically like his black and white stuff is really interesting to me. So while Broadway Danny Rose was like kind of it's not a bad movie, but it's just in terms of the ones I've seen, it's like towards the bottom. The cinematography in that film is really great. Um, and then I watched I saw Ephes again at the Harvard Film Archive, which is a really cool place. I haven't been before, and I want to start going more. Uh, it the you can look up. I would recommend everyone look up like the building. It's like this the kind of architecture on that building is crazy. But I saw Ephes again. Yeah, one of my favorite films of last year, so it's cool to see it again. But yeah, that's my week.
Nice. Doug, you want to take it away?
Yes. I wanted to say, so Owen mentioned when he was talking about Paddington in Peru, how when
Oh, music video directors.
no, you said like as franchises go on, they
Oh,
kind of like
yeah.
tend to like dip in quality or etc. And Did you guys see the Hideo Kojima's tweet today about the
the
new
Marvel
Captain
movie?
America
He was
movie?
like,
Yeah,
what did he
yeah.
say about the Thunderbolts trailer? It was like, I
Yeah,
couldn't.
he was like, I thought they like they teamed up, and then he was like, I think I realized I'm getting it confused with the Thunderbolts trailer.
Yeah.
It was so funny because when he doesn't like a movie, he normally doesn't say anything. But he was like, it's
Yeah,
obvious
like,
that
that's,
like
like, the
he
meanest
likes
he
the
could
Marvel
be.
movies, and he
Yeah.
was just like, I'm really confused. Like,
Yeah,
what's happening?
he was expressing like serious confusion. He was like, did I have to watch the Winter Soldier TV show?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was like, what the hell is happening? No, that was so. I just wanted to mention that. So this past week, I watched a couple movies. There were a couple of movies that I started Final Victory. I watched 1 hour of Final Victory, which is an old Hong Kong film. It's the first movie that filmmaker Wong Kar-wai, if you've heard of him, wrote. It was before he started directing his own films. And that movie's really good, and then I fell asleep, and then I never got back to it. And and then there were a couple of other things that I was trying to get to that I
Classic
didn't.
Doug
But
move.
well, okay, don't no, let's calm down a little bit.
Okay.
But no, I watched Juice, directed by legendary cinematographer Ernest R. Dickerson,
Mhm.
who also directed Demon Knight, which we watched on Halloween, which is a really really cool movie. But Juice is cool. I've been thinking about Juice because at the end. So, well, I won't spoil Juice, but like at the
Yeah.
end, something happens at the end of Juice, and then they
Right.
look, and then just like a random character, like it was like an extra, looks at Omar Epps and says, he says, you got juiced, and right, like, but he says like like juiced with a D. He's like, you got juiced, and I'm like, that's crazy, you got juiced. Anyways, oh yeah, the movie's really good.
Good movie.
Yeah.
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 And then I watched Time and Tide, which was my biggest Chow Hawk blind spot. I've seen all of his popular movies now. That movie is fucking crazy. It came out in 2000. It feels like a movie from like 2009, which it doesn't feel like. It doesn't sound like a big gap, right? But it's like a totally different era. It's so inventive. It's interesting. I wonder how. When I was watching the movie, right, I was thinking about this. I was wondering how somebody that doesn't know a lot about movies, to put it rudely, I guess, like somebody that doesn't know a lot about movies, I wonder like what they would think while watching it, because there's a lot of like really like kind of intense, like radical formal experimentation going on in that film for like the time that it came out. But I feel like if you kind of sat down a normal person and had them watch it, they would say like, oh, this is like a really lame like Fast and the Furious kind of like bullshit, like like with like bad CGI and stuff. But it's like it's so really really insane with like really like energetic chaotic editing. It's super crazy. The movie is about these two people, Time and Tide, no, but it's about these two people who are like two younger men. One of them is like a guy who's a bodyguard, and he like got a lesbian pregnant, and he's like in love with this lesbian, and it's like it follows him. And then there's this other guy, and he's like the main character for the beginning, and then it switches main characters to this other guy that he knows, who is like, he's like basically a superhero, but he's kind of like he's like a spy, like kung fu superhero, who has it's either his fiance or his wife, who is also pregnant. And it's kind of about like these guys connecting and finding hope in the world through like becoming fathers in a interesting way. It's a very very strange movie. I really really recommend it. And then after that I watched Song and Solitude, which is a Nathaniel Dorsey movie.
Great jump.
Yeah. Which I thought was okay. I don't know if I was in the mood for it, to be honest. I was reading some really, really, really glowing reviews of it after I watched it, and I just was not I did not connect with the piece like some other people did. But it was also like the only Dorsky I've seen. It was such like on a whim. It was just out of nowhere. I just threw it on because I was like, oh, it's only 20 minutes long, and but it was. I'm happy I watched. It was interesting. and then I watched Cleaner, the new
Right.
Martin Campbell film. So
Right.
Martin Campbell
Mhm.
is 81 years old.
Mhm.
And this movie is a Sky original. Now is a Sky Films original. Now I don't think that Sky Films is a thing here in the States. I think that's like an English or maybe more like broadly like European distributor or like kind of streaming service or something. Um but it's a Sky Film original starring Daisy Ridley, and it's like Die Hard if and instead of if Bruce Willis was what's the character's name? What's Bruce Willis' character's name in Die Hard?
Never seen Die Hard.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't be able to tell you that one.
wait,
I know that
wait, you've
I
never seen Die Hard?
yeah, I
No.
feel like we've talked
Whoa.
about this.
Wait, I've neither of you ever seen Die Hard?
I know Hans
Wait,
Gruber is the
what
bad
the
guy.
fuck
I
are you
don't know the
talking
other.
about? What do you
We were
wait,
supposed to do a Die Hard episode this Christmas, and it didn't
Yeah,
happen.
so the thing I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast because it might have come up during the Q&A or something, but the movie that has been like you know when like people you know in real life
You're the
because
movie guy. You must have
know
seen
you're a
Die
movie
Hard.
person and then they like hear that you haven't seen a movie and they freak out about it. Die
haven't
Hard is the
seen Die
movie
Hard?
that more people have
You
freaked out
fucking.
about talking to me about than like any other
You're just
movie in
Die Hard.
existence. I have heard that so many times. People are always like, "You've never seen Die Hard?" And every time they say it, I'm like,
Yeah,
"That's another year I'm not going to watch
you
Die
call
Hard."
yourself
Like,
a
it's like,
movie
what
guy.
the fuck? What the fuck? No, that movie's really good. That movie's really good.
No, I'm
That's
sure
what
I
they
would love
say.
it. I'm
That's
sure
what
I
they
would
say.
love it.
That's
Anyway.
so nuts.
What
Sure,
is
all
his
of
name?
them. I'm sure all
Is
of
his
them are
name
of great
McClane?
quality.
Yeah, it's
John
McClane.
McClane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not.
I
That's a guy.
I
That's
know
like
I know a little bit, or I know a thing or two
isn't
about
John
Die
McClane
Hard.
like a president?
No, that's well, you're
What am I
close.
thinking of? He was
You're
was
thinking
up
of
for
John
it.
McCain?
Yeah, he was sitting. I was like, that's not the guy in Die Hard. That can't be.
No,
Two different
Um
people.
John McCain is not in Die Hard.
so it's like Die Hard, but if it starred Daisy Ridley and she was a window cleaner and the movie
Mm,
was also way worse in every
mm,
way.
mhm.
But something interesting here. In this film, again, it's Daisy Ridley, bizarre career, should have been a movie star.
Yeah.
Totally Star Wars kind of like chews people up and fucking
When did
crushes
The
their
Force Awakens
souls.
come out? 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
That's so
Yeah.
crazy. I was like 12 years, maybe
Yeah.
11 years ago,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long
10 years
really
ago.
long time ago.
The math is pretty simple. You don't have
Yeah.
to.
Well, I don't know the actual date of the movie. I'm just
Sure. Okay.
like
guesstimating.
Christmas
Well, it's been
2014.
like a decade.
Yeah.
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 Like that.
And
You
now
know,
she's in
it feels like
Sky
yesterday.
Original Films directed by 81-year-old fucking Martin Campbell.
How much was
who-
the? Is there a budget on that film?
I don't know, let's see.
I don't know. I talked about this on the pod at some point in this past year though. When that Sometimes I Think About Dying movie came out, I was like, I really like Daisy Ridley. I was like, she's awesome. I
Movie
really like it.
the
Right.
like the like the budget stuff in movies is so ridiculous. Like the kind of who's given a ton of money and who's got to fight for 50K or something.
I literally
It's probably not a thing.
the name of the movie is so ridiculous. Okay, I think it's 25 million. It was
25,
it was giving me so many different numbers because there's so many movies called Cleaner. Yeah, it's like also this movie fucking sucks. It's not good. She has a brother in the movie.
How many
that
people
is-
were in?
He's
the
trapped
theater?
in the
like-
building, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
I
brother's
did
like
too.
me. The brother is like he's like a white guy with like short hair and like stubble who's like a stunted autist.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like-
Oh,
yeah.
is that
I
what-
thought you were
I
just gonna
see.
say that, and I was like, that could be so many people.
That could be anybody.
Yeah.
Mm.
How many people were in my theater? Way more. It was like in the smaller theater I went to the Alamo Draft House because that's the only theater that was playing it. And I went out of my way to go see this one specifically.
The Alamo
movie
be playing
specifically.
some bullshit, man.
They know they literally do. And there were like 10 other people in my theater, 11 other people in my theater.
If you
All
go to the
couples.
Alamo and you're the only guy in there, they're still like, is there still a waiter walking around?
Yeah, if you go to a restaurant and you're the only guy in there, is still
No,
a waiter
they
walking
actually, like,
around.
they
Still gonna
Like,
serve
well,
you,
like, what are
No.
you talking about?
Uh,
yeah.
And then I watched
Wow.
Vertigo, the Alfred Hitchcock movie. I rewatched Vertigo. When's the last time you guys watched Vertigo?
Pretty recently, actually.
Yeah, probably like last year.
Yeah,
Bro,
not
this
like
shit is
super
so
recently. It's so
fucking
good.
crazy. No, like it's like
When's the
so
last time you saw it?
crazy.
The
Like
last time I
28,
watched it was September of 2023.
I can check
I
this.
watched it last year. I know that.
Last time I watched it was September of
I'm due
2022.
for a rewatch. I could do a
Bro, this is like the best movie
Oh yeah, I
ever.
saw it in 70 on in September last year.
Bro, that was probably so crazy. So it's for me, it was like I
And
watched
people
Vertigo
were
3
laughing
years ago,
because
I
they're
guess.
evil.
And I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's great,
Like,
obviously, because I
it's
was a fucking
mid.
like dumbass idiot. No, I was like, oh, it's great, but it's like it's like overrated as fuck, low key.
That's what you thought?
And now I watched it and I'm like, it's
You're
kind of
like
underrated,
3.5
to be
stars,
honest. It's
overrated.
kinda,
Is that your
yeah.
last movie? Because that actually transitions perfectly
Yeah,
into
it's
what
Yeah,
I
and then the
overrated because
monkey.
people
Yeah.
talk about Interstellar.
Yeah. Interstellar.
Vertigo is better than Interstellar.
People are like,
Yeah.
these are my top 10 movies. And it's like,
I started my
Interstellar.
week by rewatching North by Northwest.
Oh, that movie's so fucking
Which
good.
is also really, really good. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, similar to what Doug is saying about Vertigo, it's the same goes for North by Northwest. I also that same day
What's that,
watched
Cary Grant? No, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of like get confusing.
Yeah, I mean they're in a lot of that one's Cary Grant for sure. Anyway, I that same night I watched Paddington in Peru. Like Owen said, we didn't talk about it on the podcast. I also like Paddington in Peru quite a
Hey, they
bit.
both
I
got kind of
thought
like plane sequences in a way.
they do, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they do. Paddington in Peru definitely has a plane in
There's a
there.
great. He's got like this. The kid's got like a gadget, and they gotta clean the windshield
Yeah.
wiper with his gadget.
Yeah, there's a spider
But
in
he's
the
also
plane.
like the
It's
movie opens, and then it's like, and he's a bum, and he uses his gadgets to be like a more efficient bum. It's like the
yeah.
that's just
He's
kind of
like
crazy.
he's like locked in his room and he
He's
just
like
like he
evil. He's
uses
like a
inventions so
streamer.
that he
He's like
like
a
never
fucking.
he's like a Twitch streamer. So
He's
like
like
he
got
like
like
he
a
has
goon
nothing but
cave.
inventions that keep him like in his computer chair so he
Yeah.
never has to move. It's just like
He's like
he just
Asmongold.
like he just like clicks buttons and then like a soda can will like fly
It's
onto
kind of
his
like
desk or like a
it's
meal
kind of
will
like
be
Wallace
delivered
and
to him.
Gromit if like Wallace and Gromit were like had a goon cave. Like I
Okay.
don't. That's what Paddington in Peru is.
The
Like.
Wallace and
yeah.
Gromit. Paddington in Peru is about like a Wallace and Gromit goon cave.
No, that's just like
I
the
do
exciting incident.
Yeah, just only it's in the very beginning of the movie. I do think that that the movie like what Owen was saying, it's like the Sally Hawkins not being there thing is like really apparent for the first like 15 or 20 minutes of the movie. Like any scene in the beginning of the movie when they're like together as a family or talking, you just like kind of don't believe it at
It's
all.
like,
But
yeah,
then
I'm
like
Mrs. Brown. I've been Mrs. Brown this whole time, and you're like,
but then like
you
but
lie.
honestly, like once it gets going, it's just like it just feels like the other Paddington movies. And the family stuff is never gonna like feel the same without her because she is like the most perfect
Yeah.
actress to be in the world of Paddington.
Mhm.
Like they couldn't have casted a better mom, but what can you do? It's still
Oh,
I agree. I do think it's still very enjoyable.
the Antonio Banderas stuff where he has like fucking like 10 split personalities, and then like they're like walking.
Yeah.
He's like his fucking great grandfather's like walking out of the painting and like yelling at him. That's just kind of cool.
I do think that his character being in the movie is like kind of the worst part of the
He's
movie
so
because they're
dumb.
like doing too much, but there's a joke involving his character. I don't want to like spoil the punchline completely, but they're like something is happening to the ship that they're on and they have to go in like an emergency like life raft
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And that joke involving that was very funny. That is like one of those things where it's like you put a joke in the kids movie for adults and the adults will
Mhm.
like lose their minds over it. Like it's very funny. Anyway, I liked Paddington in Peru. I also watched Flow, still trying to catch up on Oscar stuff ahead of the big night. I don't think I'm going to be able to watch
Yeah, the
everything I
big
missed, but
night,
I
the
wanted
big
to watch
night.
Flow. I wanted to watch Flow because people have recommended this to me for quite a bit. People have said that I would really like it. It's very sweet. It's very cute. I liked Flow quite a bit. I would not, I haven't seen the Wild Robot yet, but if somehow Flow pulls off the upset, that would be like cool. Like I think a movie like Flow winning Best Animated Feature would be pretty neat. Like I would enjoy seeing that.
Owen is grabbing something off screen.
Yeah, I don't know
He's
if Owen has
rummaging.
like
He's rummaging around.
flow merch. You might
He's
have flow
actively.
merch.
He's like super rummaging around.
Oh wow, that's very
It's like,
deep.
no, this is
Uh,
crazy. What?
anyway,
What?
then I watched, or should I wait for Owen? I don't know if we
Well, I
should.
don't know.
I don't know if there's gonna be like a big
What
reveal.
is he? He's like really rummaging around though.
Sorry. I
Okay.
the fucking light.
Okay, so not getting
Okay,
anything.
okay. It looked
Um,
like you were grabbing
I was
something.
I
wearing the I was trying to
for the first
stop the
time I
light from
watched
making me look weird.
Spike Lee's Inside Man. That movie fucking rocks. I have a bias towards heist movies. I love watching a heist, but like the Inside Man heist is so cool. Like it's just like I love the heist movies where it's just like really smart dude has like an airtight plan and it just like and it just like it just unfolds and you're just like what the fuck, like how did they think of this, but it's just like everything's accounted for and it's awesome. That movie's very good. I also, because of binging the Paddington movies, had to watch or rewatch Wonka. Still very lovely movie. And then in the spirit of comfort, okay, so that's what Owen was retrieving.
No, that was
In
that was separate.
Okay. And then in the spirit of comfort, while I was watching Wonka, I was like, I want to watch or I want to rewatch Dungeons and Dragons again, which is um, just like one of the most rewatchable movies to come out in the past couple years. And then I watched a lot of TV over the past week, a lot of TV action going on.
This guy, this fucking
So
guy.
first of all, Love Island
Bro's
All
watching
Stars
Love
just wrapped
Island.
up. Love Island wrapped up. I'm not going to talk much about Love Island because it's honestly like it's whatever. All Star season 2, not the greatest Love Island experience. Maybe this summer when they do the normal Love Island season 12 or whatever they're on, it'll be a step up. But but then they released this documentary series called Court of Gold, and I know we've been talking about sports a lot, but Court of Gold, really solid stuff. And I will say,
I want to watch this.
by no means an impressive documentary. Like from a documentary filmmaking perspective, it is the most like Netflix bullshit you could watch. Like it is just not, it's not
But there's
like
like fun clips, right?
yes, it is.
There we
It
go.
is. You're like
That's
you're
what
not
they help
watching.
for.
You are not watching it to be. If you guys have seen like
Ah.
Last Chance U basketball, that's what I compared it to, or like even just like Last Chance U in general. Like it feels like a Netflix documentary series, like which is what it is. Um, but then it has a lot of like fun behind the scenes stuff, and I think what I really like about it is that they released, I guess it was 2 years ago now when they did that like Redeem Team documentary that they made about the last Olympic thing, and it was just like so lame. Like it was like an hour and a half long documentary, and like 60 of the minutes of the documentary was just like Coach K being like, America's the
Wait,
greatest
is
country
Devin
in the
Booker not
world,
in the new
and
one?
he's like, yeah, no, he's
They
like
said he
barely in
wasn't
it.
in
They
there.
don't
Yeah.
like interview him at all, which is kind of fucked up. Like he's just like
Yeah.
not part of it.
Well, they
But
probably like
um,
it's like because Devin Booker, it's like it is fucked up because he was like a really essential part of that team, right?
yeah,
But it's probably like they probably like set everything up before, like planned everything before like the games
yeah.
happened.
I
You
mean, because
know?
they had a camera crew following all the teams, and they had like specific stories focused on players. Like Bam Adebayo gets a whole section, like a whole like 20-minute section
Oh, I
about
can't.
Bam and
I'm not
like
watching
his
it
mom and
now.
stuff.
Oh my fucking.
No, Bam is awesome. That part's awesome. But anyway, um, yeah, no, it's just like that documentary that they made was so like America centric, and it was like kind of just bullshit. Like it was
Yeah.
just dumb as hell.
What if they made it
And this
entirely
one,
about the Serbian
Well,
team?
the clip
yeah,
about the clip of the Serbian locker room talking about KD. I saw that on Twitter, and that's what convinced me to like want to watch it. I haven't watched it
yeah.
yet, but I'm going to.
So the first episode is very US centric, but then like by the end of the first episode, they start to involve the other teams, and then like the following episodes focus on the other team. Like you're following all of the teams, and you're learning about the players on their teams and stuff. And like there's just like stuff in the documentary that is like cool insight, like seeing like the Serbian like players like hang out. It's just, I don't know, it's a fascinating watch because it puts a lot of stuff into perspective, like especially from an Olympic perspective where so many of the US athletes are just like, there's like a level of pride in competing for your country but it's also like it's just like a thing that like is ingrained in you because like you're like an American, and it's like, oh, like America has to win at the Olympics, and it's like our
Rah.
duty to win it. Yeah, and it's like our duty to win or whatever. And then they show up 3 weeks before and they practice and they win a gold medal, you know. But it's like, but then you watch like the Serbian team, and it's just like,
Yeah.
this is like the most important game they will ever play in their lives. Like all the US team guys go back to the NBA and they're trying to win a championship, and it's like winning a gold medal, you do see how important it is when you watch this documentary, like even for the US guys, because a lot of people think it's just like, you know, like you talk about Carmelo Anthony and they're like, oh, he has like his 4 gold medals and nobody really cares about like where that puts him in like the basketball rankings as like an all-time player. But when you see like what it's like to actually be there at the Olympics and how it feels, it's like, oh, winning a gold medal actually does mean a lot. Like it is more than just like you're amazing in the NBA and you can go in there and win it very easily. Like it is a really like rough couple of weeks that they have to go through to win. I don't know, it's just really cool, but it's cool seeing like, it's sad. It's sad seeing like these Serbian guys who are just like, it's like their whole life. Like these are guys who are never going to play in the NBA. Like playing for their country is like the biggest deal in the world to them. And they work so fucking hard. And then when you see them lose to these like Americans, you're just like, fuck America, dude. Like these guys suck. Like it's so annoying, but I do think all of that stuff makes it like an infinitely more interesting documentary than if it was just like a US focused one. Like I don't know. I would really recommend that if you're a basketball fan, you check it out. If you're not, you know, I don't know how much you're going to get out of it, but if you like basketball, it's worth the watch.
Insane watch, probably, if you like don't like basketball.
Well, no, I mean, it's still cool because like technically the documentary, and this is like an annoying thing about documentaries like this, is that technically it is for the non-basketball fans because they spend the time being like, this is who Kevin Durant is. Like he grew up here and he's played basketball for and it's like, dude, you know what I mean? It's like everybody knows who Kevin Durant or whatever, like any player. It's like this is Nikola Jokic and he's the best player in the world. And it's like, okay,
They say that?
like yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's like, you know, anybody. So it is like kind of setting up for people who are
what they say about
not
Derek
basketball
White.
fans. I don't think they talked about it.
Bro, they don't have fucking Devin Booker in the documentary, and they're funny giving like
no, yeah, but there's like
time.
but there's like some of the people they focus on are like awesome. Like there's a section, like there's a lot of stuff about RJ Barrett, and as a big RJ Barrett fan, I was like, this rocks. Like when they're focusing on Team Canada, because Team Canada's GM is RJ Barrett's dad, who he competed for Canada in the Olympics the last time that Canada was there in like 2000. It was like him and Steve Nash were the captains of the team.
And now they got who else they got over there?
Did Shea play in the Olympics?
Yeah, Jamal Murray, Kelly Olynyk.
Canada's
Lou
good.
Dort.
Canada's probably the second best team.
Oh, that's who. Yeah, Lou Dort.
Yeah, they got a
Lou.
I mean, France is the second best team, but
oh yeah, I mean, but yeah.
Anyway, it's good. People should watch it. And then I watched the monkey. So we're gonna talk about.
Wait, is
that.
Australia in the documentary?
What was that?
Is Australia in the documentary? They're not in the.
They're mentioned, but the camera crews follow 4 teams. It's USA, Canada, Serbia, and France.
Gotcha.
So you get a lot of behind the scenes. Like the France behind the scenes stuff is cool too. The Canada stuff is like feels kind of similar to like the US stuff because it's just Canada. Yeah, like the France and Serbia stuff is like pretty, because France stuff is cool because they just have like, I didn't know that. I guess a lot of countries probably do this, but they just have like this like academy in France where they just send all of the best athletes in the country to this place. Like it's like a school where like no matter what sport you play, you just like go there, and it's like a boarding school where you like live and they train you to become like a top athlete.
Yeah, that's how we get all these
European athletes are crazy. Because like think about all of the guys that play like on the good Premier League teams and like the soccer teams, all like the really good like Premier League soccer teams, they were like playing professional soccer since they were like fucking 11 years old. It's like insane. It's ridiculous.
No, it's nuts. Yeah. And it's like that. That's how they raise like the basketball players and stuff too. Like here, it's like you don't really see that. You're like, you know, unless
in America, it's like you go to school and like you play, you know.
Yeah,
it's like an extracurricular.
I mean, you could do AAU, and you could like if you're gonna become
like,
a
AAU was like in the
athlete,
summer, you know.
Yeah, you do a separate circuit, but in France, it's just like, oh, you're 7 feet tall, like we're sending you to the fucking special school, and like you're going to camp, buddy. You're get ready to learn NBA, dude. And then they just fucking ship you out. Anyway, let's talk about The Monkey, the new Osgood Perkins film starring Theo James about a monkey, a
A
toy
lot of
monkey.
Theo James.
Yeah. Well, he's
Maybe
the main
double the
character.
amount you'd
Too
like.
much Theo James.
Yeah.
Even.
Actually, I do want to. I didn't think we were going to start there, but I did want to talk about Theo James because I wanted to ask you guys what you thought about him. Because I don't. None of us like the movie. Let's just get that out of the way. We all dislike this movie, but
I will give the movie a little bit of credit because I know that
Oh,
neither of you
brother.
will.
listen, we rated it the same thing.
I know.
Doug, did you like pre or post? I guess not post, but pre or like wet before or after? Like there's like
Pretty wet.
What the fuck are you saying? What the fuck
Well,
are you
it's not
saying, bro?
after. I mean, like I'm talking about like there's a split in the movie where it goes from kids to Theo James, right?
Right.
And
okay.
there is like a distinct difference in kind of the movie, especially like their performances are different. Did you like it better? Not maybe you like it, but do you prefer it when it was Theo James and his kid, or do you prefer it when it was like this kid's getting banana in the fucking bathroom?
They're both really bad. They're both really bad, is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
The Theo James of it all though is interesting because there's a lot of Theo James. He plays two characters. I don't think it's a spoiler to say. And it's like his performance is like the movie's like off kilter, right? And that's part of its whole thing, right? Is like that's like it's trying to derive its like humor by being by having kind of like these odd beats and being unusual in these really specific ways. One of those specific ways is that Theo James is like a normal guy. Well, he looks like a movie star, but he's like acting like kind of a normal guy, and everybody else is like
He's
the
not
most
acting
bizarre
normal.
fucking freak. Well, compared to everybody else, he is. Everybody else in the movie is like a fucking like freak from outer space, bro. and
he's like the Hulk.
he's like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Expand on that.
He's like the Hulk, like if the Hulk got like stuck mid transformation.
You say so? He looks like the Hulk.
Yeah, but like not like fully. He's like if the Hulk was like like a quarter of the way, and he's like stuck. So he's like stuck in like his little like stupid outfit, and he's got his stupid little glasses, and they're all like everything's too small for him. He's in like he's got all his clothes on that doesn't fit him.
So
I like
but then,
Theo James.
Well, it's yeah, he's attractive, right?
I like the idea of Theo James. When I saw him in last that's the other thing I didn't mention in our weekly watches was that the White Lotus is back. But when I saw him in the previous season of the White Lotus, I was like, I like this guy. I had never liked him before because I think the only thing I've seen him in was the first Divergent movie.
And you never
oh shit!
Yeah, and so I didn't really like know what his deal. I just thought he was like bad at acting, and then I saw him in the White Lotus, and I was like, "You've charmed me." You know, I'd like to see him in stuff where he gets to act. And this isn't exactly the right movie for that conversation, but
well, he plays multiple characters with different personalities.
Yeah, he does do that. Well, you're saying it like there's a ton of there's just two characters. He plays two characters, and they're.
But
they're
I guess I asked you that question, Doug, earlier because even though like I didn't like what was going on like on screen.
What do you keep like stopping mid sentence? What the fuck is? What the hell?
What? Okay, what the fuck? Do you hear that or no?
Oh.
No.
Oh, sorry. There's like really
it's
loud.
Like you're talking and then you like stop mid word.
There's like really loud shit going on, and I can hear it, and I just assumed that you could hear it, and it was like disrupting my thing. But if you can't hear it, then that makes me look like crazy.
It does.
Well, it was loud. There was loud things happening.
What things?
You were saying something about the movie.
It sounds like someone's like mowing. Okay. All right, guys.
So you like the part with Christian Convery at the beginning?
So yeah, I thought that dynamic of the twins, like for me, worked better. Even though I was like, oh, this movie's like really annoying, and I don't like what's going on. I was like, oh, these twins for me work more. And then like especially like we're getting like way too far to the end. But like when you're seeing both of the Theo James together, I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is insane, and like I don't think this works at all. But I thought like there is a version of this movie where like those two kids work. Where I was like Theo James, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Yeah, I
The
don't know if that makes
beginning,
sense.
the first section of the film before the time skip, and we cut to Theo James, it felt like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie.
No, he's not.
Yep, he plays Fregley.
Oh, he is. What the fuck?
2022 animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie.
What the
Damn,
fuck?
Owen got you.
That's why.
Um,
No, that's not why it feels like that.
no.
Because it's ridiculous. It sucks.
No, it's because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, it is, and it does suck. And here's my fucking deal, right, with the monkey. I was really trying to give this movie so much credit because I knew people were going to like it. I have a couple of points here. Number one, does Oz Perkins hate his dad?
He has very negative. He has a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
Because through these two films that we've seen, I haven't seen, what's the Blackcoat's Daughter? Is that his first film?
There's like
He has a
three
bunch.
other ones.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Or, no, it's Gretel and Hansel, right?
Yeah,
and then
Blackcoat's
Daughter,
and
then
I'm the pretty thing that lives in the house.
I think that's a
None of that
TV
shit's
show.
real.
That's a
So through these,
Well, I heard one of them's
no,
really good.
Well, no. I think it's
Blackcoat's
interesting.
Daughter is
I
really
think it's
good.
interesting to bring up that there are people who like his first three things, or like his early work, and like are like he fell off. Like there's
Really?
or there are groups and there are people that out there that like I thought he was interesting, and then he kind of the more mainstream or the more popular he got, like he kind of diverged off into a different area. I haven't seen those early things, so I don't really have anything to say about that. But I think this is, I mean, it's definitely worse than Long Legs.
well, and so these two movies, right? Long Legs
Yeah.
and The Monkey, they both have some themes about, like, some really negative themes about, well, so The Monkey has some pretty negative themes about fatherhood, and then Long Legs kind of like, I think like maybe like subconsciously, people have talked about this already, but like kind of subconsciously stumbles into like some homophobia, maybe, in a weird way.
Yeah.
So, and if the listener, if you don't know, we know this, but I won't talk around the point, I guess. Osgood Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins.
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins was a closeted gay man for a long time.
Also, notably a famous actor.
Yeah, he's not famous. He's not famous for being a closeted gay.
No, I think it's
no,
important to bring up, but it's just
No, yes,
but like,
it's
I
not.
thought, no, sorry, I thought that Anthony Perkins, like, I
No,
thought that
I
was
know,
like,
but we're
he,
name
like,
alone,
like you know, yeah,
if
you
we're
know
gonna
who Anthony
explain
Perkins is.
that they're dad and son, I think at least
Right,
explain
yeah.
that too.
Anthony Perkins, legendary actor, most
Psycho.
notably the lead in Psycho.
Right.
Plays Norman Bates in Psycho. He, if you don't know, was a closeted gay man for most of his life. He was married to a woman, Oz Perkins' mom, right?
Yeah.
He, but like, you know, him being gay, kind of like, you know, he was gay, and
Nailed it.
and he doesn't speak. Oz Perkins in interviews, I don't think like speaks negatively about it or negatively about his father at all. He kind of like talks
Sure.
like, he talks about like how it's like, you know, it's kind of weird having like a father who is like kind of omnipresent, like super legendary, like Anthony Perkins is, right? But it's like you kind of like get some vibes from these two movies where it's like, bro, does he hate his fucking dad for specifically, does he hate his dad for being gay? It's like, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. So that was my first point about The Monkey. What do you guys think?
I definitely could see the writing there. Like, I don't know. I just don't really like. I don't know. This isn't really specifically related to that, but just the way that it is like conveyed in the movie, like the generational trauma stuff, is just so lame to me. And I think I felt this way because Owen just said it's like not, or this is worse than Long Legs, and I famously enjoyed Long Legs, okay? But listening to him talk about Long Legs was like a frustrating experience because when I would listen to like interviews with him, I was like, this guy kind of sucks. But I like the movie.
He's not very smart.
Yeah, but like listening to him talk, I'm like, this guy is annoying and dumb. And
Yeah.
the difference when and again, this isn't the case for everybody, but when I watch Longlegs, and this is true for many movies, you can like make a movie one way and be dumb doing it, and people could still get something out of the movie that whether you intended it to be there or not, I'm still gonna get from the movie. And I think Longlegs has those things in the movie. Like I can watch Longlegs, and whether he intended some of these ideas to be in there or not, I think they're interesting. There is like none of that in the monkey. Like it is like very clearly about the thing that he made it about, and you cannot interpret it any other way. Like it is and that is like frustrating, because what he made it about is like, again, like the generational trauma stuff, and also like the, we'll talk about it in a second, but like just like the overarching like theme of death, and
And
like,
like
and he's just like,
nihilism.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just like shit happens, people die, and it's like dumb. I hate, because it's like Longlegs also tons of religious imagery, so maybe in my head it was just like carrying over from Longlegs, but then they like do the funeral thing, they like have the like cross and stuff in the background, and it's like, is this guy just like an annoying like Reddit atheist, like from like it's like, it feels very like 2014 internet,
But
where he's like, this is like religion is
yeah,
dumb, and everybody just like dies because that
well,
happens, and you
I
can't
think
control it, and it's
I
like,
think it
shut
is
up, dude, like
important.
just,
You bring up like 2014 of it all, where it's like I thought this when watching it, and I was like, I saw some people comment on like my video about it, and like the movie feels fucking dated in like a weird way, where it's like, what year? Like it feels like this should have came out like a decade ago. Or like it
yeah.
just feels like weirdly like out of.
Well, there's like a,
It just, I don't know. There's some like, it's like, I don't, it's bizarre. But the way you bring up the religious imagery, I think I remember when Longlegs on that press tour, he was like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't even really think about the religious image. I don't even think too much about it. I just like throw that shit in
yeah,
there."
but
Like,
it's
I'm
like
like,
you
Well, he
do
was
it.
saying they were
it's
asking him
like,
questions about like the Bible,
yeah,
and
I
he
don't
was
give,
like, "Oh, I don't think about the Bible. Like, it's like whatever." And it's like, yeah, so like that's my thing now in
He's like,
hindsight, especially like Longlegs. I can appreciate a big issue that me and Owen had with Longlegs that we really hammered in on our episode was like we did not like the way that fucking movie looked, right?
Yeah.
That was part of it. But in hindsight, I can appreciate people that appreciate Longlegs as like an aesthetic exercise. People that do like the vibe and like the look that he achieved with that film. Um but it's like so shallow thematically and like not thought through. Um and I remember I think I saw somebody on Twitter say that the film was misogynist because like it like expels whatever, it doesn't actually matter,
with
but
the
never mind,
Longlegs.
we need to get into, yeah, long, well, because it's like kind of like the movies about like these men that do violent things, but it's like the devil, it's like not the act, it's like the
Yeah,
men
yeah,
are
yeah.
really nice, but then it's like the devil compels them to do it.
Yeah, yeah. They can never do anything bad. It's the
um
devil.
but I don't know, but it's just a funny thing, right? But then like the monkey, right, it's like, oh yeah, so what if it's like that guy just like made a movie that was like dumb, but like trying to be dumb, and it's like, what, it's a dumb
Yeah,
guy trying to be
it's like
dumb.
dumb on purpose,
Yeah.
which is like
It was like
not my
Deadpool
favorite
shit.
thing for a movie to be. Like I don't know. And there's going back to what Owen said, that I don't often like the top letterbox reviews, like the funny one-liners, but it is like summarized so perfectly. Like one of the top reviews is someone being like, pretty fun movie if you're 15 in 2016. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that is
Well,
like
yeah.
the feel of
But,
the
well,
movie.
it's kind of like that, like classic, like, okay, it's a dumb movie, not a okay. It's like it's a dumb movie made by a dumb person, so it's like it's not like a fucking dumb movie in like a smart way or any.
Yeah.
There's nothing like,
Part of it almost feels like the movie is saying uh like talking down to the audience almost.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if that's even intentional, or it's obviously not intentional, but I don't even know if that's like a good read of the film, but it kind of does feel like that sometimes, for like some of the jokes are it just might be a tonal thing because the
yeah.
tone is so off. I really think that the tone is such a complete failure. But like so like some of the jokes do feel like it's like, oh, here, you're a dumb person, you'll think this is funny, almost,
Did
right?
people
I even
laugh a
think,
lot in your theater?
yeah.
A little bit. There were some jokes towards the end that hit
There were
at my
some people in
theater.
my theater that were very clearly younger people, and they were laughing in almost a way of like, this is so like crazy way. But I think we're talking about like the talking down to people. I felt this in a way every time there was like a kill, and I again, like we are talking about, like, you don't know how intentional it is, and I feel it is a way of like, it's such like formal incompetency in terms of like the way that he's setting up these kills is a way that like is so obvious about what's have to happen that there's no actual shock value, because he's like, it's he's serving it to you in a way that like you know exactly what's going to happen. So like he's spoon feeding you what's about to be happening, and then you're like supposed to be like shocked by it. It's like you're fucking. It's like there's all these cuts to a fucking beehive, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck's gonna happen? The bees are gonna come out." And there's like the one where she like puts her fucking head over the stove, and
Yeah.
it's like so like
And then it
obvious what
just
the fuck.
catches fire
It's like
because of magic.
Well, no, it's because
no,
she spilled like
yeah, but
what's it
it's
called
like
on her
it's
face, right?
so
Or she put like
I
rubbing
don't
alcohol on her
But how
face
understand.
did
or
but how
something.
did the spark start?
Oh, I don't know. I
It's
mean,
That's what I
that's what
meant.
it's like.
Like,
It's
yeah, I
so
know.
like,
Like,
but it's
yeah,
so like obviously formal, like the way that's like it's so like elementary in the way that it's like setting it up. Where it's like I don't understand what he's going for there. Like none of it's like it because all the whole movie feels like shock value to be like, oh, this is like anything can fucking happen, anything can, but it's never like anything can happen because it's so okay. This is what's gonna happen. It's like it
yeah.
very is like the whole thing we're talking about, like, anyone could die at any moment in any way, but everything is so obvious because it's set up in such an obvious way.
This
Where it's
is
like,
where my like strongest hatred for the movie stems from, and this is like I could forgive so many things if this were not the case, because like the humor doesn't work for me, whatever. Like all the stuff, like most of the movie does not work. And
yeah,
I would be willing to forgive so much of that if the kills were not what they are, because
I
I
yes.
I literally I mean, when people were talking, and I've said this publicly on Twitter and wherever, like months before the monkey came out, when people were doing the early reactions and they were like, oh, it's like a Final Destination movie, and I was
yeah,
like, I would be excited for this if Final Destination was not coming out 2 months after this movie. And then the movie comes out, and literally all that's in my head is Final Destination because I heard it so many fucking times. And again, it's not like things have to go down one way, right? Like it's not like the kills have to be like Final Destination for it to be successful. But it is so different that I was just sitting there every time one happened, I was so pissed off because like what you're saying, Owen, there is like at its like height, the best thing about Final Destination is like what this movie is also about, which is like this like idea of like death, and that is it's like inevitable, and that like you have to like live in fear of this thing that could happen at any moment. And when they set up the kills in Final Destination, it is like it is what you're describing, where it's like you're saying like it's like obvious in the movie where she puts her head over the stove and something happens, but like the Final Destination kills often are like set up in a way where like you see the pieces and you
yeah,
know how they're gonna like come to life.
It's like a
And
puzzle that you're
yes,
solving.
and like but
Yeah.
you know it's inevitable. And but the setup and like the tension that it builds when you like watch all of it happen is not every single time. I mean, there are bad kills or bad scenes in Final Destination, but the most successful ones are like
Well, one of
the
the most
perfect.
legendary kills in any horror movie is the kill from Final Destination where the fucking tree stump goes through the window, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like yeah.
awesome. I mean, there's even like, and there's like longer, like the most was it Final Destination 5 where the she's like she does the, I don't remember what it's called, like the gymnastics thing on the bar. What's that called? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway,
You need to be more specific
no,
than
there's like
that.
the
the
bar that you
gymnastics
like do that.
bar.
You know what I mean? Like the gymnastics bar where people do that. Anyway, she's like practicing her routine, and like a nail falls onto the bar, and she's like, and you're just watching for like 2 minutes as she like her foot like goes over the nail, and she's like just missing it, and she
Yeah,
doesn't know it's there, and then like other shit is happening around the room, and it is like to a T how that stuff should be set up. And it's not like, what you said, which is like the opposite of that is just like shock value. Like something just like happens fast and like you weren't expecting it.
mhm.
But
Bro,
these
in
kills
this
are in
movie, oh
like
my god.
they're
Yeah.
they're like they're the pace, like the way that they're delivered is like neither. It's so
Yeah,
annoying. It is like in this weird middle ground between the two. that eliminates like all of the things that make either of those successful. Like it does not have either the like shock value of something abrupt or like the tension of like the setups in Final Destination, which Final Destination also does. Like they also do the shock value like kills, but it doesn't go in. It's like the weirdest middle ground. I hate it so much. There's so many kills.
It's
like when that. This is another thing about like thematically, but there's a scene where this is a spoiler for a kill in the movie where he opens a closet and there's just a gun in there. And
That's in the trailer, I
one
think.
is so bad.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it shoots somebody as soon as it shoots the person as soon as the door is open. And I don't know if you guys paid attention to this, but it fucking annoyed me. There's a sign right next to the gun that says "Guns don't kill people. People kill people."
Yeah.
People, and it is a gun killing a person. And I'm like, you should have shot me with that gun. You should have fucking.
Yeah, no, that one's really bad because it's like, everything's just so like the lamest possible way you could do anything. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think it's like super. Every kill is very, or maybe just like the aesthetics of how they did like the effects, but it's very like CGI blood to the point of like nothing is like gross at all.
Yeah,
it all
that's
looks
what I
like
hate.
it
Well,
looks,
like the decapitations look really
they
bad.
look everything
when the person blows up in the pool, I was like, this is the most nothing movie I've ever watched.
It's so
that was like a
it pissed me
scary
off
movie
so
kill.
much.
Like actually
No,
from
it's
the
like-
movie
it's
scary
so,
movie
like
kill.
it feels like fucking like a YouTube, like a high budget like YouTube video where they're doing like, let's like try to like replicate these kills.
It's
in
literally
horror
like
movies.
it's like a rocket jump video.
I don't know what
Yeah,
that
I
is.
don't know who those guys
Okay,
are.
never they're the people who made Video Game High School.
Oh,
among other things,
I
they
don't
were
know.
they're very popular once upon a time.
no, yeah, of
Anyway.
course.
Yeah, all our
Um,
30 and up viewers will get that joke.
Sure, yeah.
You didn't watch Video Game High School, Owen?
No, I was
No
in
way.
real high school.
Well, no, you were not. I watched it in
No, you
elementary
were.
school.
Let me look this up. Let me Google this.
No, you definitely you would.
Well, so like what?
It's the
Okay,
best show
but
ever. But
not
anyway,
to have a crazy sidebar. I did so in the monkey. One of my problems, not even problem. It was like I was thinking about it afterwards.
Zach Levi.
Yes. I would have been so willing to give this movie so much grace if the kills were just good. If the kills and like formally it was just presented well. So film critic Adam Naiman in his piece about the monkey, he unfavorably compares this movie to Terrifier, to the Terrifier movies. And my big thing with Terrifier, which is which I like I like all three of the Terrifier movies to varying degrees.
And the guy.
But my big another dumb person making movies. But the thing about the Terrifier movies is like they are really creative and really fun and really interesting in the ways that they kind of execute the violence, and also the physical humor in those movies is actually funny and kind of intelligent and like a physical intelligence, not like you know what I'm getting at. Right, whereas and these movies, it's like it's so all over the place, and some of the kills are so bad where it's like spoiler alert, an essential character, kind of like one of the inciting incidences of the whole movie, dies kind of early on, and the way that she dies, or the way that they die, is like they just like explode. They don't literally explode, but it's like they just have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay. So so it's like, what's the logic from the monkey? You know, like what's like the in universe? Like, what does the monkey do? It just makes people's. It could just make people's heads explode. It could just.
Yeah. Well, it almost
induce an
explains what you
aneurysm.
were asking before about the woman putting her face over the
Yeah,
stove.
no, like the monkey
it got
can
lit
just-
by the monkey just being like, yeah, I guess I could turn the stove on.
The monkey is
Yeah,
like,
it's like
is like God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, like, I understand.
Well,
Like that's literally what the movie's
once it just like
about,
selects who to kill, it's like I guess all rules are off. Like
Yeah,
it's
but like how
you
like
kill.
like is he like deciding, oh well, maybe we'll do this?
Well, no, that's the thing. So it's like one character, they just have an aneurysm, and that's fucked up. Another character, it's like they fall through the stairs, apply alcohol on their face, then they light their head on fire, and then they run into a signpost.
Yeah.
And it's like, and also that's like I don't like that kill because it feels very forced. No, it does not feel like it does not, you know what I mean? It feels like very like, oh no, what's like a fucked up thing we could do? It does not feel, it
But
feels very, very forced, and it's also presented poorly.
it's so
But
bad. What? Oh, she's gonna run into the signpost. Let's why. It's like it's so
it's
fucking like. There's no like. There's nothing that catches you off guard.
Yeah.
Which is,
no,
like,
really, there's
crazy.
nothing that catches you off guard.
Also, it's
Yeah.
like the thing about movies like this, where like if it's like the whole thing about movies where like the kills are the center of the movie, is that I want to at least, and it doesn't have to be everyone, but I want to at least like have moments where like you like squirm a little in your seat, you know, like you want to like feel like grossed out by, if it is going to like really be like shock
Gonna feel
value stuff.
something.
Yeah, and it's like none of it achieves that. Like it's like because they're all so immediate. Like pretty much every death in the movie is just like instant, and unlike you guys said with all the like everything, but it's just like there was never a moment like the signpost too where it's like that's like that's like a gross thing if you set it up differently. Like it is like, you know what I mean? Like if there was a different setup leading to that, and I was like nervous about the idea of the signpost, then I would be like, ugh. But
Well,
like,
I
but
yeah.
it happens so quickly, you know, like her head's on fire and then she just like runs into it. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude.
I
Like, I don't.
think an interesting kind of I don't know example or like comparisons to make with this film is like if you take any Halloween movie or like a Scream movie where it's like all they're using is like they're not using anything like over the top like a Scream movie like it's only using a knife, right? It's like the guy has like a knife, or it's like the kills in themselves like all about how the kill is orchestrated and it works, not like the crazy things that like where it's like we're focused here on like you know bowling balls and you know signs, not how like to actually make the kill like effective formally. Like we're focused on like gags and like props where it's like you know we're gonna burn them up. We're like I think the effective nature of some like slashers generally is like it's not how like the item they're using, but like how they like how that kind of scene kind of starts and ends in the way that that kind of is orchestrated, less than like the objects that we're using. I think this gets too prop heavy and too like or doesn't even
Yeah.
think about how to like create the kill. Or it's like the pool one is like so it's like oh she jumps in. It's like so
Yeah.
it's like it's such a nothing, like there's nothing there. It's just like okay we it's kind of like the you have the idea of the kill but you don't really like, think through how to like shoot it in any way possible like that like evoke something I guess.
To compare it to the best kill in the Terrifier 2, which is one of the best kills in like any contemporary slasher film, where he's okay. This is gonna be a little graphic description,
I'm
but
sure
like where
a lot of people are familiar at this point too.
but yeah, but you know when he skins the girl alive, right? She's still alive now, but without her skin, and it's like wow, that is fucked up. It's like you're
Yeah.
watching the movie and that you're like that is a terrible thing to do. That's a terrible image. It's like fucked up. And then Art the Clown like he runs out, and you're like, oh, where's he going? And then he runs back in with salt. It's a punchline to a joke. It's like incredible. It's like that's like so funny.
Yeah.
There's no like good punchlines in this whole movie.
Yeah, the monkey's not very like, because it's not like a living character, there's no like real personality to its kills either. Like there's no like, you know what I mean? Like there's no like he's not like a very sinister monkey or anything. Like he's just kind of like his whole personality is that like when you wind him up, he does like that like kind of like smile thingy, and so it's like supposed to like carry like you're supposed to have some kind of reaction to it,
Yeah.
but like there's nothing that you learn from the kills that gives you insight into like how the monkey might operate as this like force of evil, you know. It's just like which is lame. I wish there was like, because if there was more personality to the kills, everything would work better. Because the other thing that I have a problem with is like and again, this doesn't really matter because it goes back to what I was saying about if the kills were good, none of the problems would matter. But like narratively, the movie is just like bad. Like there's no emotions to like any of the like once you get to the later half of the movie where it's like him and his son, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like I
That
literally
stuff
don't
is
care.
awful.
Like it's like
That
there's
stuff's so
no the
bad.
relationships mean nothing in the movie at all. So it's like
That is part of, I think, like, of the total failure of the tone. Where I think the
yeah,
tone like fails as a piece of comedy, where it's like I think it fucks up all of its comedic beats. I see where it's trying to do, and it fucks up the comedic beats. I don't think it
yeah,
works. But then it's also because of that, because it's like trying to do this like super ironic, like nihilist
yeah,
thing that I don't think is working as comedy. It makes it impossible to earnestly connect with any of these characters
right.
and consider them seriously. Where it's like, I don't care. Yeah, he's a bad father. It's like, but he's like such a bad father. It's like he's not. These aren't real guys anymore. You know.
Yeah.
um.
Well, because he doesn't even like he's not even like a father. Like he's just like he like sees him once a year or whatever he says, right? And it's like
Yeah. Well. Yeah. He's a
yeah,
deadbeat. It's like part of. It's like a joke, right? But
yeah,
then it's like, so he's like, his whole thing is a joke, and then we're
right,
still supposed to get some kind of like earnest connection at the end of it. Where
exactly,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's why the ending like really confused me, and like I was like, oh, it's really it's just gonna end, because I was like, there's gotta be like some.
It has the emotional intelligence of a Family Guy cutaway gag. Like
yeah,
he's like,
I was like, okay, there's gonna be some like thing at the end where it's like they have like, and there kind of is like there's like a fucking tenth of a kind of something at the end where like they kind of connect in some way, but it's like, bro, I don't know. There that whole stuff is like really, and then the all the stuff with like the kids, like PD's like mom and dad, where like Elijah Wood shows up. Um,
yeah.
I thought like that was gonna be a bigger part of the movie. Um,
Not at all.
but it's like not really like I don't
It's
know.
like one scene.
I was like, oh, okay, like it almost presents like Elijah Wood's character as like the ultimate antagonist of um the situation, because in reality like his brother wasn't really bothering him or like even a part of his life, and like the person, it was like the monkey and the like those people like the PD's mom and dad were like keeping him from PD in a way. So it's like once you figure out what to do with the monkey, now like the the problem is the people who are trying to keep PD away from you. But then like the movie kind of ends before like any of that even is like that's like not the point of the film, I guess. But like that's
Yeah.
just like not really a part of it. I don't know. I felt like there was like, especially when you cast Elijah Wood, it just kind of like it's like, oh, this is gonna be a bigger part of the film.
as like a cameo.
Yeah, like you, but it's
Yeah.
like Elijah Wood was more important, and then they kind of focus. It becomes more about like the evil twin and like the layer, and it like reminds me of like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah.
I think I
I
think
don't know.
and maybe this is a crazy thing to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that you take this script, which I think is a poor script already, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great. I don't think it's like it's not the kind of thing that should be turned into a movie. Like the script is not great, but if you take this poor script and you just have like you just force Sam Raimi to direct it, I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it's like a decent movie. You
yeah,
know?
no,
Yeah.
I it's like it's a total failure from Osgood Perkins. I just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, I was thinking this. I was like, oh, I understand. Um, when like M Night haters are watching his movie and he shows up, because like when Osgood Perkins showed up, I'm like, get the fuck off the screen, bro. Like I
Yeah.
am tired of your ass. Because I like immediately he shows up and he's like, oh, I'm they're like they're here to like fucking adopt you. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then he has like he's like sitting down with the kid. He has like his fucking monologue and he's talking to the kid.
Right.
And they kill him off screen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Can I ask Doug what he thought about his boy Rohan Campbell being in the
Oh right,
movie?
we do have to talk about this. Man,
all
what
of
a
them.
terrible role.
Oh
What a
man,
terrible role.
that is such a Stephen King role. Like there's just like a archetype. Awful. That wig is so
No,
bad.
he looks so bad. He looks so bad. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like it's such a nothing character.
It's not a very good performance
No,
either.
he's not good.
Sure, I mean,
Um,
it's not.
There's like nothing good about it.
yeah.
Is there a good performance in the movie?
Theo James, no.
Who's the guy?
But here's the thing.
Who's the guy at the beginning?
Wait,
I forget. Adam Scott.
yeah,
Oh
Adam
yeah,
Scott.
Adam
He's
Scott.
alright.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I guess like
there's one
Adam
scene.
Scott.
Oh yeah, he's
is-
good.
Well, I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? He's in this, and then
Yeah,
He plays their dad.
Yeah,
He plays their dad
he's
at the
alright.
beginning.
Wait, can I ask a question? Because I was
Sure.
like, I was explaining this movie to my mom, and then I was like explaining this, like this doesn't make any sense. At the beginning, when Adam Scott like brings the monkey to that guy's thing, how does he doesn't turn it, right? Or how does that happen?
It was already turned. The hand was already up.
Oh, so somebody turned it and then immediately like ran to that store to
The monkey. So here's the thing, the monkey is omnipotent. Is like omnipotent, right? And it's all knowing and all seeing.
Yeah.
So like it's like the monkey knew that Adam Scott was going to take it to the place. The monkey, you
okay.
know what I mean? It's like
So the
it's like
monkey
it's
turned himself on.
no, somebody has to turn the monkey
Yo.
on. But then like after the monkey
Yo.
got turned on, it like left. It like didn't kill. It like waited to kill.
Oh, so
That
it can
guy.
it has like it can wait forever.
Yeah,
Oh,
it can do whatever it wants. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
thought.
it's the name of the
Oh,
monkey, yeah.
okay.
it can also teleport and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I
can
see.
do that
Because
too,
I was
guess.
confused because I was like, why would he turn it? And then if the other guy turned it, like, because you can't die, right? If like you turn it. So I was confused why he was bringing it to the place and then like turned it and then in front of him. I was like, what? Because I like looking back at it, I was like, that scene doesn't make any sense. So like I understand. I see now. And then like
I
there's
see now.
is the whole thing like these dads that are deadbeats just like did he just like disappear or like what the fuck is the I don't really
Yeah, I guess
He just, like-
well, I don't know.
but also
I don't
it's
know
like
actually.
because like what are they trying to say like happened to the dad?
Because he like lights the monkey on fire and then we like
Yeah.
smash cut to the kids, right? I don't know.
I
But
think
it's not-
I think there's a line in the movie. I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but I feel like they say something
I mean
about him. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways,
Listen, most of the movie
that's
has
the
left,
monkey.
Most of the movie has left my.
But it's kind of
my
like a
head.
thing where it's like you can't destroy it, but it's also he just disappears. But it's the same thing with this. Like it's kind of foreshadowing. What the fuck is the Theo James is the like the normal version guy? There's like one of them, the one with glasses. The glasses one, like it's kind of foreshadowing like he's gonna like
Hal?
hide from.
His name Hal?
Yeah, he foreshadows like that he's gonna like not talk to his kid because he's gonna hide the monkey from him. But the other guy like doesn't even have the monkey. It's like this weird like thing where it's like they don't want to be a parent because they're like scared of the bringing the monkey to him, but like they don't have the monkey with them.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. The implication is almost like that people continue to die around him, or maybe like his like
Yeah.
well their trauma was just so crazy, right?
Mhm.
But then at the same time, if his trauma was that bad, why did he have that relationship with
Yeah.
that woman that
Yeah, what
resulted
the
in
fuck
him
was
in the
he
first
doing?
place? You think about the
Horny
Osgood Perkins
ass
is a bad
dick.
filmmaker. He didn't write the movie, but
He
he still
did.
directed it.
He did.
Did he? I didn't
He
think he
did
did.
write this movie. I'm
Oh
pretty
my
yeah, he
sure.
wrote it.
What a hack, bro. I'm
He did,
sorry.
right? He didn't.
He wrote Longlegs too. I think he wrote most of his movies.
No. Well, there's some of them. There's one that he.
Well, I
there's
didn't.
something
I didn't think he
didn't
wrote
write.
this one. I knew he wrote Longlegs. I didn't. Oh, he did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
There's
he
so-
wrote all. He wrote
Which
all
ones
but
did he not write?
but the Hansel and Gretel, or Gretel and Hansel, whatever. Every other
Yeah.
one. he's
So
written.
that's what I don't think you guys have read the story, but like I was like I wondered like what he was like changing from, or like how like because like certain things have it like it's super Stephen King in like ways.
Oh,
It's
it's a short story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, so
okay.
like I'm sure like a lot of it is like him. It's the Osgood
Yeah.
Perkins of it all. We would have to have.
Yeah, he
like,
probably just took the premise and ran with it.
Yeah, is it just like is like the short story just like this monkey who you turn it and it kills somebody and like that's the thing and then it's like okay now he made a whole movie out of it.
Correct me. I don't even know if I don't think there were twins in the short story.
Let's see the monkey.
I don't think that there were twins in the short story. Obviously, the short story doesn't take place in fucking 2024. And other than that,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
it's
sure,
kind of
though.
the okay. Let me see.
1980 horror
Oh
short by
yeah.
Stephen King featuring a cursed cymbal banging monkey toy.
No. So
It
Oh
like
yeah,
was
they changed it
the plot
to a
summary is literally
drone.
like the story begins when Hal's son PD discovers them, and it's like so it is like there's similar like there's definitely like they're exploring the attic of Hal's home.
Yeah, so the brother is added in the movie, I guess, because that's
Okay.
not in the
Yeah.
plot
That
summary
that
for the
twin
book.
stuff is the
But
brother.
Yeah.
yeah, um, but the finding the
Okay.
monkey from his father. So the idea
Well,
is
I
like
think the
similar.
other stuff is like the worst part of the movie in a way, where it's like I feel like that's like not interesting to explore at all.
It's not a movie. It's not a good idea for a movie.
Well, like I was like,
Yeah.
if this movie was about like if the better version of this movie is kind of like closer to the short story, where it's like, okay, so he finds the thing, and now it's like about it's more about the Hal, his son, and the Elijah Wood character, and like that's the dynamic rather than like the Hal, his twin brother, and the son, and the Elijah Wood thing that's like not really important. Or it's like I don't know. I don't think the twin thing is interesting because it's like the twin thing is literally just like I fucking hate you, and the whole like I'm 3 minutes older than you, and I'm gonna. He's just like this evil fucking guy, where he's just like bullying his brother, which is like I mean that stuff is I guess it feels super like Stephen King, but I don't. I think the twin stuff is lame, and it doesn't really like the payoff is like kind of like a joke thing, or like he dies at the end.
Yeah.
But it's like this the whole like where they're kind of having the conversation of like you killed my mom, and it's like he was my mom too, and then he's like oh, and then he fucking gets bowling balled to death, and that's like the end of the movie.
Spoilers, but yeah, that was the stupidest
But that's
fucking
like
kill
the
in the
end
whole
of like
movie. That shit was so dumb.
Yeah. Well, there is that scene at the end of the movie for the sickos, for the real
okay, I don't know what
for
the
the
fuck.
real twisted
Maybe I'm
minds.
like dumb. What the fuck was that stupid like Grim Reaper ass suit at the end?
The bus
That was the
thing.
Grim Reaper. What do you
Oh
mean?
no,
What
I
was
don't know.
that?
Like,
That
what
was
the
the Grim
fuck was?
Reaper.
Why was that there?
It was that he came face to face with death. That was the only part where I was like, oh, you have some kind of
That
idea
shit was
here.
so
I don't know. It was
stupid.
I don't know.
Well, I was like, I was like, oh, is it ending right now? And then there's the Grim Reaper came, and then the school bus died.
Yeah.
That shit was so awful.
Wait, also another thing. I hate this fucking movie, dude. Loki. How did all those people in the school bus die when the monkey wasn't activated anymore?
I was going to say that.
The monkey was done.
Because
What the
I was
fuck?
gonna say
bonding is
that.
real, Doug. No. The monkey got like they turned him on a lot. It's like
Was that I don't know. Anyways,
The logic is not important.
we
I
have more
guess.
topics.
no, but that's so ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous
I
movie.
hate the stupid Grim Reaper thing. It's lame. It's fucking stupid.
I hate the monkey. The movie, The Monkey, directed by Osgood Perkins. We've got some Oscars to talk about.
Oh, yes.
Well, not the Oscars because they happen a week from now, but prior to the Oscars, we have to make our final podcast predictions, and
We gotta lock him in. Is money on the line here? What's the deal? What
we
are we
haven't
doing?
really discussed. I don't remember, what did we do last year? I think it was like winner gets to pick the movie that we talk about, but I don't know. That's like kind of low stakes now, so maybe maybe the viewers will comment if there's a good thing, but we'll see what the winner gets. The winner will be rewarded some way.
What does the loser get? Is the real
That's
question.
not important. This is all
Okay.
made up. Really,
This
really
is all made up.
Yeah, maybe we'll get like a crowd-funded trophy for the winner.
Way to really hook in the audience there. Make them really invested.
Listen, we're not as a podcast. We're not the most excited about the Oscars that a podcast could be. Okay, that's my point.
I feel like we are.
That our
I feel like
panel
no
is not the
podcast
ultimate,
has been
is not
more
the ultimate
No-
Oscars pod.
No podcast in the history of podcasts have ever been more excited for the Academy Awards than the Looks Like a Movie podcast.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what they say.
So we're gonna go category by category through all the categories, all the nominees, and we are going to say who we think will win, our prediction, and then we will also say who we would like to see win.
Who would
Of
we vote
course,
for if we
yeah, who
had our
you
own
would vote
ballots?
for. Of course, there are categories, I'm sure, where you guys just do not care, and that's fine.
Do people? Is there like a not
But
that saying I'm doing this, but like, say like someone's a voter, right? Like, what
uh,
if they vote for like half of the shit and then leave the other half blank? Like, do you think that happens?
yeah, you're allowed to
Yeah,
not answer.
Okay,
yeah.
that was
Yeah,
interesting.
you
Yeah,
you
that's
can you
interesting.
can you could do a no vote.
Because what if
I
a
was
dude just
reading
showed
some
his
of
shit?
the
It's like there's like one vote on there, and he just like doesn't give a fuck about anything else. That guy's a
well, I was
loser.
reading some of
He probably didn't watch all the other
the
movies.
what's it called? The like the sample, not the sample ballots, like the
Oh,
early ballots, like when they release like certain, like some voters ballots, the anonymous
yeah.
ones. And some of the anonymous ballots in like the Variety article or whatever other website posted anonymous ballots, they have like every category written down and who they voted for, and then some of them just say like that they didn't vote for
What
whatever
categories was
category.
it? Like any like big ones, or
I
was
think
it mostly like
it could depend. It could
hairstyle
depend
and
on your yeah. It could depend. It could be like the lesser categories. It could also just like depend on your branch or like how much stuff you've watched. Like maybe if you're somebody who's not watching a ton of movies, you haven't seen any of the like short documentaries, for
sure
example. So you're
that's
just
like that
not
seems like
voting for them.
a section that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah,
That would get like less voting.
it's not like I don't think too many people are skipping votes in the main
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
categories. You know, like nobody is like not voting
What would be
for
funny is like I
lead
can't
actor or
come to bring
something.
myself to vote for any of these fuckers. I'd rather
Um. Anyway, I don't know if you guys
die.
read that, by the way, but there were like some interesting things in the anonymous ballots. Like some of the comments that they
Oh, I
made
watched your
were
video.
interesting. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Anyway, we're gonna do these in alphabetical order. So we're going to start with actor in a leading role, lead actor. The nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
You know,
Uh, what are you
us
gonna say?
saying who we would vote for is interesting because we've never had like we've just never actually said this for each of these categories before, so I don't even
No, I
know
don't
what
think
we're
we've
all
had
gonna
too many
say.
conversations. This will be like us
Yeah,
finding out a lot
What
on the
is
podcast.
the
I
yeah.
mean,
so wait, Kevin,
some of
for
them will
the
be obvious from conversations that we had when we were talking
for
about the
like
year-end pod, but
the like
Right.
actual game part of this? Is this the it's just for the who we think's gonna win, right?
Hmm.
Like it's not important who we
um,
the who we want isn't like a part of the
no,
game.
the who we want is just who you want to win.
Okay, I was just making sure
The
what I
prediction is what
because you wanted
matters.
me
So
like
we're so
to write them down so I wouldn't know which one.
for each category, we
Oh,
will
right.
go
I have to write it down.
prediction first, and you'll say your prediction first, and then who you would pick. But
Okay.
we could do them at the same time. So I will go. I'm gonna say actor in a leading role. I am predicting Adrian Brody for
Yeah.
The Brutalist. And I think my personal pick, I this took some thought, but I think I would actually vote Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I would like to see
Mm.
Coleman Domingo win. I don't
I
know.
wish I had seen The Apprentice.
Yeah, I think I would also maybe vote for Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice if I had seen it. That is the one movie in this category I have not watched. It's one of
Yeah.
my last Oscar blind spots. Oh, and who would you predict and pick?
Yeah, it's leaning towards Brody right now.
I wanted so badly to do the dark horse Timothy pick, and I think
Yeah.
I made too many safe picks. I might pivot live
Well,
on the
that's what I was
pod
thinking.
to
I was like,
switch up a
I
little
feel
bit.
like it's gonna be Brody because like that's what it's leaning to. But like,
Damn, are we all gonna pick Adrian?
No, but
Predict
like
Adrian
no,
Brody's
but
gonna
here's the
win?
thing. It's like we always do
it's
these,
like
and
it's
you can do
so
pretty good based on just like what the vibe is.
yeah.
But there are at least like 2 to 5 awards on
I don't know.
Oscars
I
night
think it'd
where
be
it's like a
so
surprise. You know what
lame
I
if
mean? Like something just like happens
I
and you
feel
didn't realize
I
that the
feel like it'd
voters
be
were
so lame
thinking
if he
like that.
won, but it's also like
It's just gonna be him probably.
yeah.
I don't
It would
know.
be
I think he's going to win. But listen, Owen. If you're gonna predict Adrian Brody, I'm going to predict Timothy Chalamet just to hedge the bet for the game purposes.
yeah.
Yeah,
It would be so
it's
cool.
up to
I
him,
haven't
man.
seen Sing Sing, but like in terms of like people who I would want to see win, I think it'd be
Yeah,
really
like
cool
Colin
if
Domingo's
it would be
awesome.
really cool if Coleman Domingo won. I think Ray Fiennes is old, so no.
That was part of my thinking, was like, I'm not even certain Coleman Domingo is my favorite performance out of these, but like
it'd be cool.
the
Yeah,
mix of like
I don't know.
performance plus like person who I want to see getting the Oscar, like that would
and
make me
like
happy
Sebastian
to
Stan,
see
I
like
think is interesting. I think he's interesting where he like the public perception of him now from like a couple years ago. I think it'd be interesting to see where he goes from here in like his next like
Yeah.
5 years. But I'm gonna say that Adrian Brody's gonna win, but I'd like to see Timothy Chalamet win on just the
Yeah.
basis of like youngest actor. I think that's cool if he would get that
Yeah.
like kind of thing. So that's I'm gonna say Adrian
So
Brody.
Doug is gonna go.
I am predicting. I really don't think he's gonna win. I am predicting Timothy Chalamet is going to win. If
Yeah.
I had a ballot, though, I would vote for Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's tough to like bet on like, oh, they're gonna give it to the youngest fucking nominee or the winner, like it'll be the youngest winner ever. It's tough to be like, oh, it's gonna be that,
Yeah.
it's just tough to bet on the young, like, because especially like the way that they operate in terms of like these legacy wins, like the
I
earning
will
it of
say,
it all.
I think we will know without a shadow of a doubt, pretty much
Tonight. Yeah.
tonight after the SAG award when we're recording it.
Worth noting for the
Yeah.
listeners, we are recording this the day of the SAG Awards, but
Yes.
prior to them happening. And
So you guys
our
are
predictions
saying,
might not
you guys
age
are
great
saying,
in
like,
the acting
if
categories.
I mean, obviously,
Whoever wins
but
the
if
SAG,
Timothy Chalamet wins, you think he's gonna win the?
I think
the
I
Oscar?
think he has a much greater shot at winning the Oscar.
if Timothy Chalamet wins the award
way
tonight
more of a
at SAG, he becomes the immediate favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if
It's-
Adrian Brody wins,
yeah.
it's over.
Yeah,
But I think
that makes
I think
for-
if Timothy
it makes
Chalamet
sense
wins, it's
if
way
Brody
more of a
wins,
coin
it's
toss.
over. But I feel like if Timothy wins, like it's still not.
It's like a coin toss. It's like it could go either way.
If Timothy wins,
it would mean a lot.
SAG is a huge precursor for these acting awards.
But also, like, Adrian Brody has won at every other.
Yeah,
I know.
Every other show. Like, it's like SAG is a big precursor, but if that's the only thing you win, then that's like. But it does mean something, though. I mean, it could, like, there's like a world in which, like, for example, out of nowhere, like Fernanda Torres wins the SAG tonight, and then the Best Actress race gets insane.
Yeah,
but,
really insane. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's that's like a real possibility. Like, so it would shake things up. Anyway, those are our best leading actor predictions. Next one, actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I want so badly to like have this category be like this, but it's Kieran Culkin. I'm gonna predict Kieran Culkin, and I would pick Guy Pearce if I was voting.
I think we're about to hear that 3 times now.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, yeah, it's Culkin's gonna win it, and I haven't seen The Apprentice, and I like the other 3 performances, but I mean, Guy Pearce for me is like one of those. Like, it's just like top. In terms of like just overall acting, he's up there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
same.
Kieran Culkin's an award darling kind of guy.
Yeah,
so.
Predicting Kieran Culkin.
I haven't seen that movie either. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Apprentice, but like this is a pretty strong category actually. Even though Kieran Culkin is just like has been the favorite for so long.
Yeah, I mean, these are
good little collection of performances.
Yeah, these are all good nominees. Like I know, like Tyler was like online talking about how like Edward Norton like sticks out like a clown, and is like, no, that performance is really good.
Yeah, I really liked him in that movie.
Also,
I think this is like
Edward Norton, incredible fucking.
Yeah, just like
sure,
legacy,
like
Yeah.
But this is probably the in the 4 main acting categories, this is probably the one that they got the most right in terms of nominees, I think. Now that I'm looking
Who would
back
you I like top of my head it's tough to like who else I would put in here.
Yeah, well, there were other people like at the time. I mean, the big like omission from this category when we talked about it was Clarence Macklin and Sing Sing.
Oh, yeah,
right.
Which like, yeah, I think he probably deserved a spot in here. But when you look at the other acting categories, there's all people who could have been in there replacing someone else. I think this is like probably the most well-rounded category, even though this is the one with the biggest favorite.
I mean, especially when we talk about Culkin, Norton, Pierce, Strong, being like these kind of guys who've been around for a while, and like Yura Borisov kind of being this very new kind of face.
Yeah,
Being,
like
Yeah.
his first Hollywood movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it though.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
up is Best Actress in a Leading Role. And
This is
again,
interesting.
this could change.
This is interesting.
This could change.
interesting.
This could bite us in the ass.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think that we will actually like 100% know who wins the Oscar tonight. Whoever wins the SAG tonight.
I think you might be right, which is like, you know, it's
Unfortunate
it sucks
timing
it
when we
sucks to be
record the
recording it
podcast.
like this because I'm just gonna make a prediction and then in 5 hours.
Yeah,
it's
but that
gonna
makes it
either
more
be
like
proven right or
fun.
wrong.
That makes it more like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it does make it more fun.
because if we
and I'm
knew
going to
who the
predict-
fuck was gonna win, like then it's like, what the fuck are we doing this for?
Yeah, I
Right,
so
yeah, yeah.
badly want to pick the dark horse here, but I'm going to predict Mikey Madison to win.
You did pick the dark horse.
Who
No.
are you
Dark
thinking?
horse.
is the
I wanted to.
Oh, you were gonna say
I wanted
Fernando
to predict
Torres?
Fernando Torres.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm-
okay, that's crazy. That's
but I'm
crazy.
going to predict Mikey Madison. And my
Okay.
my pick, if I was voting, would be Fernando Torres.
Okay. I haven't seen I'm still here, but
I like that movie quite a bit. I think I talked about it on the pod. It's a really good performance. It would be the second best performance if Marion Jean-Baptiste was nominated, but alas.
well, of course.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna be salty about it until
Dude,
forever.
the-
Doug's webcam is just fine.
Yo, what the
Owen,
fuck?
do you have your prediction and pick?
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mikey as well. But
Doug might just get a free point for this
Wait,
one.
this is where I win.
Yeah, this might be how you win the
I don't even
the
know
show.
who. I guess I would vote for Mikey for this one as well. Just like straight up.
I'm predicting still since day one.
Yeah.
I'm predicting that Demi Moore is going to win the Oscar, and if
Nice.
I were voting, I would also vote for Demi Moore.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
Mikey
you probably,
Madison's
you
good.
probably got a point there. I think it's more likely that you win this category than me and Owen, but that's fine. Final acting
That's the
category
only thing
here.
that was different so far.
I picked Timothy Chalamet.
Oh
You
yeah,
picked Timothy Chalamet.
yeah.
So if we
So,
could get the
yeah.
Brody, then it balances out. They cancel out. Anyway, actress in a supporting role. We've got. I also didn't read the nominees for actress. If anybody cares, it was Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, Mikey Madison,
Plus
Demi Moore,
3,500
Torres.
for Amelia Perez on that one.
Yeah, well.
Are you looking at the odds? You're letting the odds pulled up, bro.
Yeah.
Actress in a supporting role. The nominees are Monica Barbaro, Ariana Grande, Felicity Jones, Isabella Rossellini, and Zoe Saldana. I am going. I don't. I kind of want to change my prediction last minute, but I just feel like after all of the Amelia Perez bullshit, they're going to like still be too nice to Zoe Saldana and let her win. So I'm going to predict Zoe Saldana, even though I want to go in a different direction. And my pick would be Ariana Grande for Wicked.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Owen.
Jesus Christ, bro.
This might be what loses me the thing. This is crazy.
Bro was studying the odds.
I'm studying it. I'm just looking at it, and I was like, I didn't think that like she would be last, but I'm gonna go Monica Barbaro.
Yeah, she is last in the odds. But
I was
don't.
like, I feel like the way I've
be.
heard about it, I was like, I feel like she's been like at least like top 3. But
It's
like,
just on Twitter.
Felicity
It's just on
Jones.
Twitter.
Felicity Jones should be in last at this point because there is real like what real is an exaggeration. There's like some
Isabella
scheme for
Rossellini is in the
Isabella
movie for like what,
Rossellini.
5 minutes?
No, but there's like she's like gaining like
No,
some
I know, that's
weird
what I'm saying.
last-minute
It's crazy.
scheme, but at least
Yeah,
more than
I'm gonna
Felicity
go
Jones.
Barbaro for both.
Interesting. That's interesting. I'm predicting Zoe Saldana will win. I think this is a fucking terrible category in terms of the nominees. And I don't think any of them deserve like the
Okay,
highest
come
fucking
on.
acting. No, for those performances, the
Okay,
highest.
but
This
like,
is the highest
no,
acting
no,
award
no,
we
no,
have.
no, no. I
This
didn't
is the
realize. I
highest.
didn't realize the way you were framing it. But like, I thought you were gonna be like, none of them deserve my vote. It's like too big.
No, 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 no. No, I would vote for Isabella Rossellini. I
Okay.
think out of
Okay.
these, yeah, that's what I was getting to. I was just like, I think these are just a bad crop of nominees, though. Like,
Yeah,
um,
fair enough. Our next category is animated feature film. The nominees are Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. I am going to predict that Flow will pull off the upset over The Wild Robot, and I'm going to pick Memoir of a Snail. Those are the only two movies in this category I have seen, and I like Memoir of a Snail a little bit
Same.
more than I like Flow. So those are my prediction is Flow, though. Owen, your
this is like a tight
prediction
race.
and
I
pick?
think maybe it's not, but
Yeah, I don't know. What's interesting is it feels like the Wild Robot. I haven't seen it, or I haven't seen Flow either. But it just like feels like, in terms of like an awards thing, like it makes sense to give it to Flow, because like it's like,
You would think.
you know. But I'm gonna
You would
say
think, but
that
one of them has been the favorite
yeah, I'm gonna
for
say
the
the Wild.
entire year.
I'm gonna say the Wild Robot is gonna win this one, and I would also vote for Memoir, or just like say Memoir of the Snail would be my choice.
yeah, I'm also same with Owen. I'm predicting the Wild Robot will win,
Yeah.
but I would of course vote.
That
for
was a
Memoir
little
of
bit
a
of my
Snail.
strategy here. Was like I was trying to think of categories where I knew you guys would not pick the same thing as me, and I was like, I want to pick Flow as like the sleeper pick, and I knew
I
you
think
would
Flow
both pick
could
the Wild
win.
Robot. So I was like,
That's
maybe I'll
totally-
maybe I'll pick up a point there. That was my
Flow
thinking.
should win probably, like if it's between those
yeah.
two. Like
If it's between
It's a
those
good
two, it
movie.
probably
Flow's
should
good,
be
yeah.
Flow, yeah.
And
I
it's
mean, I
like
haven't
and it's
seen
like
Wild
it's like
Robot,
one
maybe.
guy or like a small team, I should say.
Mhm.
Like yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Our next category is animated short film. The nominees are Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck.
Wait,
What the fuck?
wait.
Are you just not prepared for this?
No, I forgot.
literally,
I forgot we're doing all this shit, bro.
well, I literally told you that we're doing the nominees in alphabetical order on the Oscars website. Like all you had to do was scroll the website.
Yeah, I guess
and
give me
go through
Wander
every
to Wonder,
category.
man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick. I've watched one of these.
Yeah.
And it is the one that I am picking to win, and obviously that I would want to win because it's the only one I've watched, which is Wander to Wonder. Is the movie that I watched, and I recommended this to Doug actually. I don't know if Doug will ever watch it, but I thought it was a cute little short that Doug might like. So I'm picking Wander to Wonder.
I'm
Owen?
also picking Wander to Wander. We're all picking Wander to Wander.
We're picking animated short film with the best odds to win the animated short film.
Yes.
Is that really?
It's the only favorite. Yeah.
I was looking, Beautiful Men was the favorite by like far.
No, Wander.
Whatever I'm on right now.
Wander to Wonder is minus 180, and the
I was
Beautiful Men is
looking. I was
plus
looking at the.
170.
I was looking at the Gold Derby expert picks, and I think there was 30 votes, and 27 of them went to Beautiful Men.
I mean, they're like, it's not like those are like the only two ones that like they're like saying are like close to like that. The other ones are like super. So I mean, it could go either way. I'm
interesting.
Go with
I don't
that
know.
One, though,
Okay, I guess we're all picking Wander to Wonder.
I haven't seen any of these.
Anyway, Wander to Wonder, pretty cute little short, pretty neat little movie. Anyway, next up we've got cinematography: The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu. My prediction, I think all of our predictions, is The Brutalist.
This is a bad category.
And I guess
was just thinking that this is a really
Maria.
bad category.
I think I would pick Maria. Owen?
Because so it's Brutalist, Nosferatu, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, and Maria, which just feels like a bad fucking group. So
it's a bad crowd.
Well, Nickel Boys should have just been in here.
Yeah, I'm writing in Nickel Boys.
The Brutalist
should have just been Nickel Boys winning this one.
I guess the Brutalist I would give it to as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I'm not guys talking about like you hate the Brutalist.
No, it's just like
it's good.
it's like I don't. It's like okay,
Yeah.
the Brutalist is the only option because it's like Nosferatu. I'm like Dune Part 2. I'm like not giving it to, and like I haven't seen Amelia Perez or Maria, so
yeah.
Nope. Okay, fair enough.
I guess it's the Brutalist.
Okay, so same predictions there. Costume design: we've got A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I am going to predict Wicked. Um, I don't really know who I'd pick. I guess Gladiator 2, just because I like that movie the most. But
That's
you
not
know, like if I
that's
was
actually not what the award is for.
sure, but like if I was like an Oscar voter, since they like don't really care about what they're voting for and they use stupid logic all the time, I'd be like, yeah, I like Gladiator too, and I'm not going to vote for it in any other category, so I might as well vote for it here, you know. So that's my logic, is that I'd vote for Gladiator 2 so that it wins an Oscar.
What if there was a betting scandal where someone bet on the things they were voting for?
That's
I
illegal.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, that also like
I mean, I guess you're like voting.
if you're so confident in placing expensive bets because you're one of 10,000 people
that's what I'm saying. Like, I
voting
guess
for
your
that
vote.
movie,
I guess your vote isn't like too like.
like I do not think your vote
I
is
guess your
going
vote
to
doesn't like.
skew
Yeah.
the odds
I
of
was
who
just
you're
thinking about
betting
like it's
for.
like because you hear about like there's like scandals, like sports.
Yeah, those are like players
No, I know. I
altering
understand.
their gameplay, not
What if like
one
Timothy
guy
Chalamet
voting
bet on
for.
him winning the Oscar? Would that be fun? That'd
Um,
be, I guess
I mean,
like what if he? Yeah, I don't
it'd
know.
be fun if you just did it like without like voting for yourself, just like as a thing. You were just like so confident that you're gonna win an Oscar that you bet on yourself just to
Yeah,
make
like
money for
what if
winning your
like in
Oscar.
Sean
So that when
Baker's
you go up on stage, like
Sean
you've won
Baker
the
is like
Oscar
in
and
the
you also
speech,
made
and then
a
he
bunch
like
of
show, and
cash.
then he's like, yeah, and I bet $10 million
And I
on.
used my FanDuel sign up code FanDuel25
Yeah,
for a free $25 bet
yeah,
on myself.
yeah. That'd be
Um,
awesome.
who are your guys' picks for costume design?
Wicked is going to win, is my prediction. I would vote for Nosferatu.
Okay.
Huh.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go Conclave.
As your
Ooh.
prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I don't hate it because if Conclave doesn't win best, where else is Conclave gonna win? You know, but they're not gonna let
Conclave.
it. You know, like it's
Screenplay?
no. I have a pick for that one.
Go a complete
um,
unknown.
I have opinions about the screenplay category. Anyway, next up we've
Wait, what
got
Doug? Oh, Doug said Wicked.
yeah, Doug
Yep.
said Wicked. Directing. The nominees are Sean Baker for Honora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Farja for The Substance. I'm going to predict Sean Baker, and I would vote for Brady Corbet.
Interesting. Interesting. This is spicy. This is a race. This is a real race.
No, I mean this is like I think that what you're picking here is who you're picking in Best Picture, I imagine. Maybe not, but
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Actually, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna do the Brutalist Brady Corbet for this.
For your prediction. Okay.
Who are you vote? Who do you like more though? Who would you vote for?
None of them. I would leave my shit blank.
None of them. I am going to predict Honora Sean Baker.
Nice.
As well,
okay.
and I would vote for Brady Corbet though. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I would vote for Sean Baker. I don't know.
No, you
It's
wouldn't.
tough.
But you would vote for him, but you would say on Twitter that you didn't.
That's funny. The next category is documentary feature film. We've got Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. I am going to both predict and pick the only movie that I have seen in this category. I hope to fix that soon. No Other Land is my prediction and pick.
Let me tell my story about how I was supposed to see No Other Land twice this week, and that didn't happen. So one of my classes we're supposed to see something, and like the film, there was something wrong with like the print, so like we didn't end up being able to see it that day. So like they were like, okay, we're gonna switch. We're gonna go to the theater. And we're gonna see No Other Land at like 6:45 or something, or like 6 o'clock. Like class normally starts at like 4. My first class ends at like 1, so I'm normally just like at the school till like for 3 hours just chilling. But then I was like there for like until like 6, and then we get to the theater, and we're just chilling, and the teacher's talking to the people at the thing. Apparently, like one of the staff members bought everyone tickets for I'm Still Here. so we all had, and they were like, okay, we can swap it out for a different movie, but No Other Land is sold out, so you can't watch No Other Land, but you could watch like, I think they were playing like Judas and the Black Messiah or something. But then they were like, okay, we can.
Wait, what the
Just
what?
like, just like 5 years late.
No, it's
What
like
the
art. It's
fuck?
like an art theater. Like it's like a
Oh,
okay.
okay.
But then they're like, okay, so now, but if also we can like swap it out, you can see No Other Land on Friday. So I was like, okay, I'll just do that. So then I get there on Friday, and like I didn't like swap. Like I didn't get the swap out ticket. Like the teacher had it, right? So I get there Friday, and then like nobody's there. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then like I didn't have the ticket, and the movie was sold out. So I was like, I guess I just go home. Like I don't know. I was like, so I just ended up
It's so fucked
I
up.
didn't end
Did
up.
you like email your teacher?
I'll talk to her next week. Like, but I'm like, I don't even know. Like I just like, okay, I guess I'm not seeing No Other Land.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to see it like
yeah.
twice, and then it just never ended up happening. So I was
Wow.
like,
I would recommend that listeners of the pod who have a chance to see it.
yeah, I
should.
wanted to see it in. I thought it would be cool to see it in theaters. But
Is that who you're going to predict, or are you going to go with somebody else?
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. Doug?
Same.
Do you
Yeah,
have
I'm
a-
predicting
okay.
No Other Land will win. I haven't seen any of these movies because
Yeah. I also think
no
that
Wong Bing films were nominated. So
sure. Yeah, I think that this will be, if No Other Land wins, this will be like the highlight of the night, probably in terms of speeches. I think
It's gonna cut.
We'll see.
stage.
It's gonna cut to
We'll
some
see
crazy
how,
like.
yeah, we'll
guy
see
in
how people react, and
I think,
but
you
like
guys think Mel Gibson's gonna be there?
probably not.
Yeah, probably.
it
Probably
depends.
not.
Who
He's
knows?
probably not gonna be there. Who would like be like they cut to the crowd and he was like upset? Who would be like
Decrepit Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's not gonna be there.
No, not Clint Eastwood. I don't know. There's like so many.
There's so many Zion. Oh, Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry
but he's
Seinfeld is
No.
not gonna
Oh,
be
or
there.
Jerry Seinfeld. He's not gonna be there though, probably. But no,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg. It's gonna.
Did
cut to
you see
Steven
the
Spielberg
video of the guy trying to
frowning.
take
Wait, why would Steven Spielberg be there though? Just
He's
because
Steven
he's
Spielberg.
That's
Sure.
He's probably he probably
He
produced.
doesn't just like go every
Spielberg
year.
is more
Probably,
likely
like,
to be
produced
there
some
than
movie.
anybody we've named before. That,
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
But
Jerry
still.
Seinfeld and Mel Gibson, they're not gonna be
No, I
there.
Anyway, the point is,
It's like they cut
I've
to
seen
Woody
these two
Allen.
people
Like, no, he's not gonna be
talk
there.
in person. I imagine their Oscar speech will be
Bro,
good
so
and
they're gonna cut to
powerful, and
Woody
also
Allen.
people will.
It's like they cut to like Jerry Seinfeld, but he's just like in New York, like separately. Like they like have like a TMZ like fucking.
They're just following him around like he's at dinner. He's at dinner with a very young woman.
Yeah, and they're like, what do you think about No Other Land winning Best Documentary? And he's like,
and then he's like,
I don't care.
I don't care about Palestine.
Yeah, he's like, awful, horrible shit.
Our documentary short category, the nominees are Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. I think that the Oscars are likely to, I've heard there's this bad taste movie, I Am Ready, Warden, that the Oscars are likely to pick here.
That's the leading guy there.
But I am going to pick the movie that I have seen because I trust the documentary branch to actually pick good ones. So I'm going to predict Incident, which is who I would like.
Well, I was gonna do that, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just take I'm Ready, Warden.
Because the favorites in the in these like documentary shorts categories and like most of these shorts categories, you could actually often trust them to pick like same thing with No Other Land, like to pick the best movies because like a lot of people skip voting on this. So like the only people voting for like the documentary short are people who are like passionate about documentary shorts. And so they're
that
like
doesn't make him smart.
Yeah, that's like the worst
sure,
kind of
but
guy.
like sure, but like that I'm just saying historically you can trust them a little bit because they actually like it's like a different you know what I mean? It's like the people who like whose living is made in the documentary short category are not like
oh, they're not making a living.
Like the sure, okay, whatever. You know my point.
God.
My point is like these people are often like they care in a different way than like your average like Oscar voter cares, and so they might actually pick something like Incident instead of whatever else. So I'm gonna pick Incident as my prediction, and that would be
Kevin, you're gonna get plowed.
Okay.
We're gonna win.
You're
Yeah, I'm
picking-
about to plow you,
You're
buddy.
picking I'm Ready Warden.
Bend over.
Is Doug? Is that what you're picking?
I'm also picking I'm Ready Warden.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kevin's getting that
alright.
3rd place slot.
All right, just wait until I come out on top. Just wait.
Oh, buddy,
Uh,
you're never on top.
Well, that's not true. In the film editing category, our nominees are Honora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. I am going to predict Honora, and I guess my pick.
What is Conclave like? What's up with the
The
editing? What's the
Brutalist?
style of that?
Shut the fuck up. Oh, you're just like looking at the odds.
No, I'm
and
like,
being
because I was
"Hey,
like, I'm
what's
kind of
the
like
deal?
shocked. I was like, I don't. Well, I'm interested.
Where
like,
is it in the odds? Is
It's
it
number
third?
It's the
1.
favorite.
That's why I'm like,
It's the favorite.
I'm just interested.
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
interested.
Conclave
like,
is the favorite.
because you guys have seen the movie, I was like interested why that would be. That's not what I'm gonna vote for. I'm gonna actually say The Brutalist. But I
fair.
am just.
Are we all going to pick different ones
I'm
here?
curious why Conclave is. I'm curious why Conclave is
One and
one.
Uh, so
I think
there
the
was,
odds
like,
are wrong.
What do you mean?
I think that's why.
No,
it's
I'm
one.
just okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I agree. I think the odds are wrong. But
I
there was a
think
lot.
I think you were able to make a valuable bet by not picking the favorite in that category. It's a good value pick.
That's why I didn't do
I
it.
think there was like a lot of rumblings where people were saying that like Oscar pundits were saying that Conclave might be like a favorite to win this category like really early on in the race. But I don't. I think now Sean Baker is the favorite, and I'm selecting Sean Baker for
Okay. Yeah,
Honora.
same.
Well, that's what you're stuck to.
Same here.
I would vote for. We didn't talk about it. I would vote for. What's his fucking name? Oh yeah, David Jansko for The Brutalist. Though.
Yes, that was my pick as well. Yeah.
I would move for none of them.
Okay.
Again,
well,
I'd opt
that
out.
seems to be a common theme with
I'd opt out of
your
this
picks.
one.
The international feature film category.
jeez.
Brazil has I'm Still Here. Denmark has The Girl with the Needle. France has Amelia Perez. Germany has The Seed of the Sacred Fig. And Latvia has Flow. I am going to predict that I'm Still Here will win. And my pick.
This is an
would be
insane. These odds.
Germany's
are
The
fucking
Seed of the
Are you
Sacred
saying what I was
Fig.
saying, Doug?
Yeah, this is crazy.
What are you guys? Are you guys looking
guess
at
the odds? No, guess the odds because I just looked at the odds for this category because I was curious.
Are you
Guess the
asking me to
odds.
guess like the numbers or just the order of movies?
Either?
Okay, the order of movies and the odds is I'm Still Here number 1, Amelia Perez number 2.
Okay.
Well,
Right?
they're tied.
Yeah, but it's like
tied.
they're tied at -110, and then the next one is Seed of the Sacred Fig at plus 1800.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
That's
was gonna say See the
crazy.
Sacred Fig third.
Yeah,
But
and then it's like
what,
Flow
is-
and the
Flow and
Girl
then
with
The
Needle.
Girl with the
They're
Needle
like
last.
plus
Yeah.
3,000, plus 4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the
I mean,
odds
well,
are
'cause
crazy.
That's like this is I feel like often this is one of those categories that is just like pretty much
I'm
always
gonna go.
predetermined.
I'm Still Here as well.
I can make a really valuable strategic pivot here by
And do
selecting
Amelia Perez.
Amelia Perez.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
just
Knock
don't.
yourself
I
out.
just don't think it's going to win.
Well, done. Do it just to spice things up. Why not? I mean, you're not going to get if you pick you pick I'm Still Here. It's not going to affect the.
No, yeah, I'm
the
picking
game
Amelia
anyway.
Perez in this category.
Okay.
I think it's just it's just like numbers.
If I
value
was
because you can get
voting,
one there.
if
Yeah.
I was voting, I would have seen the Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Right,
if I
'cause
was
that movie's
if
yeah,
I was-
I really
Yeah,
like
no,
the
same.
music.
If I was voting, I would have seen the Seed
if
of
I
the
was in the
Sacred Fig.
position where they needed my vote,
You guys should watch
I
that
would have
movie.
watched
I
that
really
movie.
I really like the Sea of the Sacred Fig. That would be my pick if I was voting. It's
Yeah.
it's a shame. It's a shame the race is not between I'm Still Here and the Seed of the Sacred Fig instead of.
It's cool that
really
Flow's nominated. Shout
No,
out
yeah,
Latvia.
which is like that's like kind of
Shout
part
out
of my like
Christoph
Dark Horse animated
Porzingis.
campaign. There is that it's got more than one nominee.
they should do a movie with him.
What did you think about the score in Flow, by the way, Doug? Because there was like rumors that would also get nominated for an Oscar. It ended up not, but would have
I
been
think it's
interesting if
really
Flow had
nice.
3 Oscar nominees.
It's kind of like a musical, like not literally. It's literally
Yeah,
not a
but like the
musical,
music
but,
means so much because they don't talk.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It dictates a lot of the tone. It's
Yeah.
good.
Interesting category. Yeah, okay. That spices things up since Doug went the other way. Next up, we've got makeup and hairstyling. The nominees are A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I'm going to predict The Substance, and I guess I would pick either A Different Man or The Substance, either one, if I was voting. What about you guys? Don't, you know.
Huh.
I'll jump in. I was waiting for Owen to go. I'll jump in. I'm predicting The Substance. I would vote for Nosferatu. I don't even know. I'm assuming The Substance is the favorite. I think it's going to
Yes.
win, but I don't know beyond that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it is.
Huh.
But I think it's.
I just feel like none of these
heavy
like
favorite.
The Substance is like the obvious one because it has that fucking big ass monster thing. Like, but is that like
Right.
even?
Well, Nosferatu also has
Yeah, Nosferatu also has a
in it.
big.
No, I
Have a
know,
look.
but there's something like in your face about the
Oh,
Substance.
there's something in your face in Nosferatu too.
There's something in your face in The Substance other than the big fucking makeup monster as well.
Yeah, ass.
True. That's what I was getting at.
I'm gonna go Nosferatu. Even it's not the
Oh, okay.
the front runner, but I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I think it could win.
I think it's a.
Who knows?
Well,
yeah, it
Wiki
could,
doesn't. Wiki doesn't make any sense.
I mean, listen, how accurate could the odds for the makeup and hairstyle?
Wiki doesn't really make any sense. I think The Substance is like probably gonna win just because of how like, obvious it is. But I think Nosferatu.
Yeah.
There's like there's other stuff in that movie.
I think Nosferatu kind of in a, like he looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
we're
like a
gonna
and like
go-
a and like a how do they do that kind of
We're
way,
gonna
you
go
know?
Right,
Nosferatu.
yeah.
I don't really know what I would vote for. I haven't seen two of these. I guess I'd probably Nosferatu.
Yep.
What is have either of you guys seen a Different Man?
Yeah, that's what I said my pick would be, probably.
What's the thing there?
There's
what's
like
the makeup
stuff
and
with
hairstyling
like
going on there?
there's like stuff with like the characters like because he do you know like the like kind of like the premise of the movie?
Yeah, but like Adam Peterson looks like that.
Yes, but then
Beyond
he
that,
like
I don't
That's
like.
not-
but
That's
then he
not
like
makeup. That's something.
yeah, but then he transforms into Sebastian Stan because he does like a like surgery, and there's like a transformative process in him like going from himself to Sebastian.
So is there
Stan.
like an in between Adam Peterson and Sebastian Stan look that's like
Yeah, sort of,
achieved with
yeah,
makeup? Okay.
yeah.
No, I was like wondering because it's like all the marketing is just like Sebastian Stan and Adam Peterson together,
Yeah,
and
Pearson,
so I
by
was
the
just.
way.
Is it Pearson?
Yeah, Adam Pearson. Yeah, I
Sorry,
believe.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I loved
isn't
you in Under
Jordan
the Skin, Adam
Peterson.
Pearson. I kept saying Peterson. My bad.
It's Adrian Peterson.
Anyway, that's the makeup and hairstyling category. Next, we've got music original score. The nominees are The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilio Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I am going to predict The Brutalist, and I think that I would also vote for.
Is there an unoriginal score?
Well, that's
Like
the
an
thing because there
adapted-
is an
That's what Dune Part 2 would have been.
yeah. Well, there is an unoriginal score among these, and it's called fucking. Wicked,
No, that's what I was saying.
which
Like, I
is
was like, Wicked is like someone.
It's adapted
not-
from a different score.
So that's not like not a category. Like it's
No.
in the best. There's not a best adapted score.
Yeah, I would vote for. I mean, I think The Brutalist is going to win. I would vote for The Brutalist. It's a really good score. That's my take.
I think I would do the same.
Yeah.
Nice. I want like you know what I mean though. It's like I want so badly to like make bold choices in these categories, but it's so easy to go with the favorite.
The
But then my
Wild
thing,
Robot's gonna come in from like the fucking top ropes.
well,
here.
I don't know. I'm wondering. Maybe a listener knows more about this than I
What
do.
even
but, like,
is the second?
how do you? I don't know.
Of what score?
Probably
Yeah.
Conclave. Conclave. Yeah.
Oh, that dumbass fucking score.
But like, but it's like you know what I mean. It's like because there's like based on like the buzz like in categories like this, but also it's like how much can you gauge like the pulse of Oscar voters for like the non-main category? You know what I mean? It's
because
like
they've seen the vote.
if it's like not a major like if it's makeup and hairstyling, how accurate can the odds be? Like how are they even?
They
measuring
interviewed everyone.
what the vibe is for Oscar voters on makeup and hairstyling. I don't know. It's just like that's why there's surprises, I feel like. But anyway, then music original song, we've got El Mal from Emilio Perez, The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Emilio Perez, and Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. I literally don't. I'm going to predict El Mal because it seems to have been winning everywhere else. My pick would be like nothing, but I guess I would go Like a Bird from Sing Sing just because it's in Sing Sing. And
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, but I'm never
I
going to
remember
watch.
El Mal.
I'm never going to watch the 688 or Elton John Never Too Late, and I would like to vote for the Sing Sing song over the 2 Amelia Perez songs. So that is my choice.
Yeah, so I would vote for El Mal, and I would.
You would vote?
No,
for
sorry,
El
sorry,
Mal?
sorry, sorry, sorry. I am predicting that El Mal is going to
He's
win.
like, I hope El
and
Mal wins.
instead of voting, I would kill myself. This category sucks.
Yeah, this is also just like the least relevant.
Yeah, I'm with it with that.
every single year.
Why is Best Picture like
You're
in the
picking El
middle
Mal, Owen?
of these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Why is what?
Best Picture is in the middle of the shit. There's so many
Well, 'cause-
categories after Best Picture.
Well, because P in alphabetical order. Best doesn't count for alphabetical order because there's several
Yeah,
categories. that
because
start with
there's
best.
lots of bests.
I see.
P.
Okay, that makes sense actually.
So now we're at Best Picture. We still got a couple more after this, but Best Picture, the 10 nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. I am going to predict.
Drum roll.
Somebody else go first.
The monkey.
Can somebody else go first?
Yeah,
I've
I'm
gone
not
first for every
Yo,
category.
you could make crazy.
I'm
I
not
wanna-
dumb.
Yeah.
I am predicting Anora is going to win.
Okay.
I'm not an idiot, bro.
Owen?
Yeah, song.
Oh wait, Doug, who would you vote for?
I would vote for Nickel Boys.
Owen?
That's not even on here.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
It probably
Oh,
is
you
not
can't
even
even
listed
bet
for
on it.
odds.
Can't even bet on
Yeah,
it.
it gets
That's fucked up. What the fuck?
Well, because
What if
it's not
Nickel
gonna
Boys
win.
just wins? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
No, but you can. It's like I'm still here with like 10 million.
Yeah, because it has a better chance than Nickel Boys.
Yeah, Nickel Boys literally does
Part
not have a chance
2.
of winning.
I'm gonna go with Anora.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just
It's
like I
going to
want
win.
to.
It's going to win.
Well, I know. I just like thought there would be like a way to switch things up, but I'm also going. My pick would be either Nickel Boys or Dune Part 2. I guess probably Nickel Boys if I was voting.
Or what?
Dune Part 2, the movie that I really liked.
You would have
last
voted
year.
for Dune Part 2?
Sure. You guys are saying this like we didn't do a whole podcast episode about how much I like Dune Part 2. It's like
Yeah, but I
you know,
thought
this is
like
not
I thought like time has passed. You know.
Yeah, and I still like the movie.
All right, we'll see you next year.
Okay.
When-
Wait, who did you pick? Oh, and if you were voting,
Oh fuck. Oof.
you could also just like not care, I guess. But it's like
Owen would pick a
big category that
complete
matters.
unknown.
No, I don't want to
Like
see
a
James Mangold up there.
Complete unknown.
Well, it would be the producers up there.
Oh shit.
I mean, James Mangold would also be up there, but he'd probably not be the one speaking.
But he wouldn't be giving a speech.
Yeah, I don't want to see him.
Or
speak.
maybe he would. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who? Yeah, it's up to them, I guess.
I guess I would. I don't know. I'd probably just say Nora.
Nice.
That's fair. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
No.
We've got a couple more. Production design: The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I'm going to predict that Wicked wins. And I guess I would pick Brutalist or Nosferatu or Dune Part 2. Anything but Wicked, pretty much.
I am also predicting that Wicked will win. I would also just probably vote for Wicked, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I guess in this category, it makes sense to vote for Wicked. But, yeah. Owen, what's your prediction?
I guess yeah. I mean, throw me down for 3 W.
Owen glances at the odds and sees
Three-
minus 30,000 or whatever the fuck the Wicked odds are.
He's trying to talk himself into picking something else. It's like what are the it's like
It
what
has to
would
be
the
the
narrative
runaway
have to,
favorite.
what would the narrative have to be for Conclave to win production?
No,
It has to be the runaway favorite. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I feel like Nosferatu is like way too low.
Yeah, it should be higher, I think.
It's plus 3,000.
I don't
It's
know
like-
about the BTS for Nosferatu. Do they build a lot of sets for that, or was it like on location, or what's the deal?
Well,
there?
I guess yeah. If you're not building it,
Yeah,
it's not like production design.
I mean it is, but it's like it's different, you
It's a
know.
little more. It's like a location scouting. Let's go Wicked
Yeah.
here. And I would vote for The Brutalist, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, AI.
y-
Big AI fan.
Yeah, big.
Yeah, especially
big
like
AI
is like
guy.
Nuggets era.
Okay. Live action short
Guy who
film. We
only
have
likes AI and the Nuggets.
Alien, Anuya. Anuya? I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. Now, I would
Wait,
pick
what
The
is
Man
this
Who
one?
Cannot Remain a live action short film.
Oh, okay.
I would pick personally The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, and I was going to predict it, but I'm going to switch things up because of a little narrative arc here. I think
No, I'm
that
gonna.
could
I know.
boost this movie. So I'm going to predict that Alien
Oh,
wins this
fuck.
category.
Every time you'd steal my thing.
Oh, you could still pick.
Every time, really?
Well, last time we did a short thing, I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do the favorite. I'm gonna pick this other one." And Kevin's like, "You know what?"
Because I'm deep in the research,
Yeah,
baby.
but
I
I
know
just
the
like
Oscar
made this
narratives.
shit up,
Listen,
and you have to it has to
troubling.
be the same thing.
This is a.
I'm
this is
going
a
with
clause
Alex
that the
Len.
Oscar voters would. You're going what?
I'm gonna Lakers center Alex Len. Alien.
Is he? What does that have to do with the
Is it-
movies?
What?
Where is what?
Never mind.
Oh, are you picking Alien?
Yeah. Why is it like that? Why is it Alien?
I'm not.
Because it looks like Alex Leon. Or
I'm picking The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
That, which is probably what actually.
what's up
will
with
end up
Alex
winning.
Len putting up 0-0-0s all night?
We need to stop talking about basketball so regularly.
really.
Especially like you trying to actually have a conversation about Alex Len right now in the middle of our Oscar predictions is nuts, bro.
What do you mean?
That guy is not very relevant.
He's super
in
relevant
the world.
when the world revolves around the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, this is
Even
true.
then, he's not that relevant.
He
I'll be
is
honest.
because
Any player on the
because
Lakers
they
is
couldn't get
relevant.
Mark Williams, so now Alex Len has to get reasonable
No,
minutes.
I
and
know.
he's
You don't have
stinking
to
up
tell
the
me.
fucking-
I know.
He's stinking it up.
So just to be clear, predictions are Alien for me and Owen, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent for Doug.
Horns.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
In the sound category, we've got A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. My prediction and my vote would go to Dune Part 2.
For sound?
Yes.
I'm going Complete Unknown.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the odds
Unknown
are.
the favorite?
No.
I will say.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say I am going to predict. Fuck it. I'm predicting. Ooh, I'm predicting Wicked.
Dune Part 2.
Okay, the
Dune-
first category
Dune
I
Part 2
think
is
where
the
we all
favorite.
went. Is this the? Yeah, right. I don't think we've
Yeah.
all picked a different one. Damn, only 3 categories left, and 20
Well,
categories.
who did you guys say
so
for?
all pick a
No.
different one.
What did you say for actress or supporting actress?
Me and Doug both picked Zoe Saldana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the first category where we all
Darn
went
it.
3 different ones.
I would vote for Dune Part 2 though, probably if I
Yeah.
was actually in the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Visual effects. We've got Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. I'm going to predict Dune Part 2 again for this category. What about you guys?
I have no idea. I literally have no idea I don't know who the favorite is. I don't know what the narratives are. I have no idea who's.
I just think that Dune has to sweep some of these, like, or not sweep because it's not going to, but pick up a couple of these like below the line Oscars so that it doesn't go from Dune winning like 7 Oscars to Dune Part 2 winning 0.
I think
Like,
it probably will, but
sense.
I'm gonna go Apes.
Yeah.
I am. Fuck it. I'll predict Dune Part 2 just because I'm so.
I think
like,
Apes is actually a good pick here.
I would vote for Apes. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes should kind of fucking run away with this shit, bro.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah.
This feels like another category where it's like the people voting for it are just like the passionate visual effects artists, and so it could be Apes winning.
But I think those people might vote for Better Man though. Also.
Oh, maybe.
Apes and Better Man also. It's kind of like the fact that they're both nominated
it's tough.
is tough. Yeah.
Which is why maybe it'll split the vote and Dune will
That's
win.
what I mean.
So
exactly. That's what I mean.
Dune.
I think it might split the vote. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now our final 2 categories, the writing category, starting with writing adapted screenplay. The nominees are A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. I am going to make a prediction that is in line with who I would pick in this category, and also not the favorite. I'm going to say Nickel Boys is going to pull off the upset. I'm predicting Nickel Boys.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
Give me Conclave.
Yeah. Owen?
Huh.
Yeah, which way do you want? It's one of those.
Bro.
It's one of those two. So you gotta
No, it's
pick a
not.
direction.
I'm going.
Ooh.
I was picking a complete
I'm going
unknown.
Amelia Perez here.
Oh,
shit.
wow!
Whoa!
We're getting a little bit.
We're getting fucking
Like,
crazy,
We're getting
bro.
bold as we near the
Like
end
it,
here.
like it.
Owen's these are
Like
the
it.
types of weird
Like
decisions
it.
that Owen made last time he won, though. Remember, because like the last times we've done this, Owen has cared the least, and it has led him to make like dumb choices, and then he ended up winning. So like, I do think that doing something stupid like that could play in Owen's favor.
I had one strategy,
Which is
to lose.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds when we pick this next category.
okay. Our final category, writing original screenplay. We have Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I am going to predict, and I would pick, for my vote, Honora.
I am going to predict Honora. I would vote for The Brutalist though, but I'm predicting Honora will win. My strategy is selecting Honora at all turns.
Yeah.
That's
no, I went out of my way to not read all of it, but read like 60-ish pages of the Honora screenplay, and that is what made up my mind about picking it as my vote. I think if I was voting, I would pick Honora. Owen, who's your prediction?
I want to go somewhere else, but I'm just gonna go Honora. I was tempted with like A Real Pain.
I mean, you can't pick it in like Best Picture and not.
No, yeah, I was tempted in A Real Pain with A Real Pain, but I'm gonna go Honora.
I don't hate the Real Pain pick though.
What are the odds for A Real Pain on there?
So it's Honora, and then it's The Substance, and then it's A Real Pain, but it's minus 370, then 600 positive, and then plus 750. So like the Substance and Real Pain are like.
I don't hate A Real Pain as a pick though, because Jesse Eisenberg has been like doing well, giving speeches at some of these smaller award shows where they have been awarding A Real Pain.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
A lot of people would like to see them win a Oscar for it, and that's the only one it can.
No, I mean they're going to win Kieran Culkin.
Oh sure, yeah, that's right. I kind of forgot about that because of how obvious it was. Yeah. Okay. Well,
cool. That was fun. That was jolly.
Those are all of the nominees. We will, on next week's episode, revisit our picks and see what happens. But...
What's the worst prediction here that one of us made?
Oh, I don't know about.
Did Owen say Monica Barbaro was going to win Best Supporting Actress? Yeah. Okay, that's it then.
Worst
then that's it. I think it is probably.
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe one of my lesser category picks might have been like, what did I pick? And I feel like I picked a dumb one in one of these like smaller categories. I don't know. It's all irrelevant. Who cares? It might be me picking Alien, which is just like not gonna win live action short.
Owen also picked Alien.
Yeah, but Owen also picked it, so I guess that doesn't make it the worst by default.
Yeah, but normally we pick the same things. So it's hard to like.
Yeah. Okay. Those are all of the Oscar categories. Like I said, we'll revisit this in a little over a week's time and see what happens, and we'll have plenty to say, I'm sure. But we're going to talk about some news before we wrap up, and I want to remind everybody, of course, to share some feedback if you liked listening to us talk about the monkey or the Oscar predictions by liking, commenting, subscribing on YouTube, rating the episode on Spotify,
and hit the bell as well.
Yeah, hit that bell and follow us on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, and any other.
If you call it X, don't follow us. Actually.
Yeah, maybe not.
Leave a comment. Tell us who you think is going to win Best Picture.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, give us your predictions as well.
Give us your predictions.
Tell us if any of our picks were dumb.
I don't know if you could reply to comments on Spotify, but I'll try to reply to some people on the YouTube at least. Yeah. Start some conversation.
Anyway, we've got multiple kind of big pieces of news here. First up, Dwayne Johnson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Emily Blunt will star in Martin Scorsese's new crime thriller. It's described as The Departed meets Goodfellas. It follows an aspiring mob boss who fights rival crime factions for control of the underworld of the Hawaiian Islands.
Sure.
I think the Emily
Yeah.
Blunt part of this is interesting because she has a prior working relationship with The Rock, where it like almost
Yeah.
feels like I am interested in like the order of these things, because obviously like Leo comes first, right?
Like how like yeah,
But
what
it's
order
like
these
I'm
actors got
interested in
attached.
like he goes to get The Rock, and then The Rock's like, hey, I like Emily Blunt would be cool, or like is it like Emily Blunt he gets Emily Blunt, and then Emily Blunt like recommends The Rock? But I mean, all of it
Yeah.
comes down to like Marty has trouble financing, and like this like
Yeah, she's like a movie star. She's
no,
like,
no, no,
you
I'm not
know.
like I'm not saying that from her. I'm just I guess I'm just interested in the order of that. But obviously the Rock's part in it is the financing thing of like he's had trouble financing things, and the Rock is like is seen as this kind of guarantee, at least from like a streaming perspective. Like he's kind of like Netflix's like prime jewel in a way, where like they'll make 15 red notices if he's in them. Uh,
He's one of like the 5 most famous people in the world that appears in movies frequently.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
and he kind of has a thing almost like I don't even think, maybe this is crazy. I maybe it's not. I don't know. I feel like it's different from like where it's like I think he has a reach that like spans generations in a way like that like certain people don't have. Because I was like I feel like I don't know. I would say maybe like, older people know who Tom Cruise is for sure, but like
hmm
young kids know who The Rock is. That like definitely like it's like I think I would say young kids know who The Rock is and like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, no,
I
I
don't know.
agree.
It's like it's interesting, and it's interesting, and especially when we talk about like John Waters and David Lynch and these like older filmmakers who try to get films made in this like streaming studio system that couldn't, and then there's kind of conversation about like Marty having like a bunch of different ideas and not being able to get them funded, or ditching them, and then like this is the one that like people are like, oh, it's never gonna happen, it's not gonna happen, but this is like the most obvious one that's going to happen because of The Rock being attached, because like they will be able to get financing for it. Like there's a bidding war, like it's gonna go like Netflix or Apple,
Yeah.
and then like it's gonna get made because of the and it's crazy how like I mean we talk about Leo being like this big like legacy actor, like movie star. But like
Yeah.
every movie that Marty is gonna do was gonna have Leo attached to it, and like that wasn't enough, which is insane. Like
Yeah.
Scorsese and Leo being attached to a movie is like not enough. And obviously, I mean, you're coming out of Killers of the Flower Moon, which had those two, but I mean, it's I don't know.
Scorsese, this is also part of why I just like, maybe it'll still happen, but why I really wanted the Jesus movie to
Mm-hmm.
happen. Like the smaller Jesus movie that he started working on. Like he was like
Yeah.
really kind of like, it's like obviously they didn't start shooting it, but like he was like, it seemed like he was in the weeds of like figuring out what the movie was for
Mm-hmm.
him. And because like it seems like where he is right now at this stage of his career, he's only interested in making like these really big, really grand movies with a lot going on. And when you're Martin Scorsese, like that's expensive,
Yeah.
right? And he seems pretty uncompromising about that. And I think like when you're Martin Scorsese, that's fair. That's
Sure.
totally fair. Um, and but it's fucked up that he it's not enough. It's like you said, it's like he should be able to make a $200 million movie if he wants to, you know. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
I don't know. I like especially like with the people like he could get any actor,
Yeah,
but I think it's
exactly.
interesting that like the type of actor he kind of is almost forced hand to select in a way. Um,
And it's interesting how like this has been going on for a long time. I don't know if you guys remember The Irishman, but the big story around The Irishman was like he had been trying to make The Irishman for like 20 years, but it was too expensive.
mhm, yeah,
And it took until Netflix. He had to cut a deal with Netflix to get financing for it,
yeah,
and The Irishman came out 6 years ago. You know, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like I don't know. I feel yeah. It's I'm sure like I'm kind of questioning or interested in like the viewpoint from these studios on like Marty as like a marketable kind of like Marty as a brand almost. How they see him in like the public's viewpoint at this point.
Hmm.
Like, do they see him as someone, or like, what is their ranking sort of like who they think is like more like? Because it's like there's a clear like they think the Russo brothers. There's like I wouldn't be shocked if like someone was like, oh, the Russo brothers are a like that has a they reach more people than like someone like Scorsese, or that like that's a better bet. Like I'd rather give the Russo brothers $300 million than give Marty like 200. You know,
Yeah,
because I mean they
I don't
kind of did
know.
that.
they
I
yep.
don't know.
But it's also like
It's
it's like
interesting.
the Russo brothers is the Russo brothers, or is it the Russo brothers with Millie Bobby and Chris Pratt?
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna
Sure.
say. Where it's like we're singular.
I mean,
The thing about
yeah,
the
Millie
Russo
Bobby
brothers
Brown
is
is
like,
like the Netflix
Well, it's like if
star. Like,
yeah,
Scorsese
no,
came
yeah.
to Netflix like I have this movie with Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown, would they give him $300 million?
Well, the Russo brothers, they make a kind of, especially now that they like are so removed from making. Oh, I guess like they're making the next fucking Marvel
Yeah.
movies, but like their streaming stuff
Mm-hmm.
is so different from movies that play in theaters, where it's like actual like content designed to
Sure.
be
Yeah. So
watched
like
on a
they
streaming
kind of.
from,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a different kind of economic thing than it is with the Martin
Sure.
Scorsese movie,
Yeah.
where Martin Scorsese is shooting his movies on Academy 35 millimeter,
Yeah.
you know, and
True.
it's
Then
a totally different
I
thing.
guess the if you're trying to push a type of work, then you have all these like kind of notes and like Netflix mandates, and the Russo brothers were kind of guys who will comply and like follow them to a T, like and like that's what you want. Like it makes sense. And whereas like
Yeah,
Marty is like looking to make his movie his way, just with your help and your financing.
yeah, and you know, shout out Netflix for making The Irishman happen.
Yeah.
You know, and shout out like Apple for making Killers of the Flower Moon happen. Do it again. He's gonna die. You
Yeah.
do it one more
Well, that's
time.
what
He's gonna die.
how old is
Like
Marty right now?
he's like 79, 78. How old is he?
Mhm.
that seems like a good
Uh,
prediction.
Yeah.
All right, is
he's
he
82.
82? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Which is
he's
like
so
it's
old.
like,
Yeah, so
this
81.
this could be his last movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah. That's why it's like, and listen, this sounds like more interesting than the Devil in a White City fucking adaptation. That like when that was announced, I was like, God, I hope that's not fucking real because that's annoying to me. But the wager, he was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna do the wager now after he did the no, I don't have the book over here. Well, do I? No, I don't. But after he did the Killers of the Flower Moon, he was like, "Yeah, man, it was such a great experience working with this writer. We're gonna do The Wager now, which is another book that guy wrote." But then I think what happened maybe was like they kind of started pre-production and they looked at it and it's like this would be really expensive because it's a fucking shipwreck movie, and then they pivoted, you know, and
Yeah.
that's fucked up. That Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese has to think about that, and it's not just I don't know.
Right. Our next piece of news is more Leonardo DiCaprio news. He will star in motorcycle stuntman Evil Knievel's biopic, directed by Damien Chazelle.
So are they not doing the prison movie? Is he not doing the prison thing? Is that not a
I
thing?
guess not. Part of this report was that they're like gonna begin shooting this summer, and so if that's the case, then I think any other movie is
No, I
probably
just I remember that like that whole thing with
yeah.
like him shooting a movie in the prison. And then yeah, this seems like it's gonna happen. I mean, there was rumors for this about for like a while. It was kind of like talked
Right.
about. Weird. I think Damien will take it in like a place that'll be at least interesting to an extent. It's just
Sure.
on like a log line standpoint or a kind of like description standpoint of it's like it feels like a movie that would be really bad, but I think like it's not gonna be
Yeah.
biopics have
No,
This
I
movie could end up being tremendously annoying
Oh,
and
for sure.
terrible.
It could.
That
Yeah,
is,
no, no.
these
I'm
cards
just,
are on the table.
I think it's like,
Um,
I think it doesn't matter who's working on it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it could be awful. But
I don't know.
it's just,
I'm like,
I'm interested in like the
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Damien
I
Chazelle's
don't really.
kind of bizarre.
Yeah, and it's just like interesting as like the post Babylon movie. For this to
yeah.
be what's next ultimately.
Damien Chazelle's
Um,
interesting in a way of like, at least with Babylon and this, it's like they're movies about like, I don't know, they're weird like portraits of things. Even I guess La La Land is like similar. There, I don't really know how to describe what I'm thinking about, but there, I don't know, the way that he, like the kinds of movies that he's interested in making are interesting in like a way that they're like, it's like less about, I don't know, it's like there's like a specific thing he's attracted to that like is bizarre. I don't really understand it. But yeah, Evil
yeah.
Knievel biopic, bizarre Leo.
Well, he did. I mean, he did the Arnold. No, the what's guy in the moon? What's his name?
Neil.
Neil. Yeah, Neil Armstrong. There we go. He did that biopic.
Is that what First Man is?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
First Man's the Neil Armstrong biopic.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But like, what's your relationship to Evil Knievel?
I forget that's a real guy. You know what I mean?
I said this before. I said this earlier today when I was talking about it. I was like, I forget that that's not just like
Yeah.
like a phrase or like some like fictional thing, and it's just like a real like person.
No, for sure. Same.
It's interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Our next piece of news, not Leonardo DiCaprio related, or is it? Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson have stepped back from the James Bond franchise, and Amazon MGM now has full creative control.
Not what you want to hear. The words Amazon MGM have full creative control.
Yeah, no, I mean this is a real
Bezos out there
What
like,
this
hey guys, what do you want?
What this
Yeah.
reminds me of is I remember there were rumors, or maybe it was an official report or something, that Amazon wanted to do some kind of James Bond TV show,
Mhm.
right? And then it was like, oh, but the Broccolis wouldn't let that happen. You know, the Broccolis
Right.
are famously, they've always been super protective of the James Bond brand.
Yeah.
Barbara Broccoli has like basically had like total control over the Daniel Craig era and planned everything out, and you know, for better or for worse, you know. But like like super producers like care, like really care about it. Something's up. You know, this is weird.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. Not what you want to hear. I hope.
No, yeah, we're just like cooked.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
just
just like.
over
I
for...
hope it's not a fucking. I hope. I hope it's not a James Bond TV show. I hope that
Yeah,
whatever
like what
Amazon decides to do is like a movie that plays in theaters.
I
Is
just
all I'll
feel like it's
say.
gonna be like a James Bond TV show starring like Nicholas Galatzine, or however you say
No,
his
yeah,
last
like
name.
literally, like some shit. Yeah.
It feels
Like just
like
like a
it's
straight
gonna
to
be
streaming
like,
kind of guy.
it's just gonna be like, I keep seeing things and like the way like it's being approached, it just feels like they're gonna do like the most like obvious shit ever, and kind
Yeah,
of
I
just,
just feel like it's so unlikely that this could in any way end up working out for us. Like it is just
Well,
like
especially now
we're
that
just
it's
fucked. Like
Amazon,
it's just like
we're gonna get the anti DEI James
well, that's what I
Bond
was gonna
bro.
kind
yeah,
of get at, is
We're
like it
gonna get like the
feels,
fucking conservative woke, like it's conservative anti woke fucking James Bond. It's gonna be
yeah,
evil.
yeah,
It's gonna be fucking evil slop.
yeah. I don't.
because that's what it is. It's like Amazon is just doing what is in the best interest of like the raging
Yeah.
majority.
Well, and also like the last project that like the Broccolis were trying to, because the Broccolis have been trying to do James Bond, like they've been trying to figure it out now for like a year or two.
Yeah,
They kind of talked about it, and they were going to do the Idris Elba thing. They were going to do like
which
an
would have
Idris
been
Elba
cool.
James Bond movie, and then Idris Elba dropped out because of like he was like, it was, people are too racist. He was like, there were too like, it was too crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now it's gonna be
Who's like the word like the white guy that we Zachary Levi?
Who would they get? Who is like
Who's like the DEI like but
who?
like
If
the
so, if
like the
Mel Gibson and John Voight and all those guys are like the lead
yeah, I'm
guys,
gonna say
they're
Hollywood.
searching
Who is
for
like the white guy that they're gonna
probably.
choose?
So, well, the thing is, it's like we wouldn't even think of
Well,
him
it's
because he'd be
tough.
so unqualified that you wouldn't even think about him.
Well, that's
It's
the
just
thing.
some
It's like
random
the
white
only
guy.
qualification to be James Bond in my eyes is like you have to be an English person or from the
Yeah.
UK. I guess like you could maybe
Who's
be
the guy?
Irish,
Who's
but
the
like
main character in Sound of Freedom?
John Caviezel.
oh, John Caviezel,
Yeah.
John Caviezel, James Bond, bro. Holy shit!
Is he?
No,
I don't
I
know,
think
man. Who's like the
Henry Cavill is possible. Henry
Yeah.
Cavill is possible.
He is possible just because they want him.
that's like the fan
I think
cast.
they would pay. I think they would pay out the ass for Henry Cavill. It's more like that's ridiculous. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that's ridiculous.
I'm gonna look
Is
up
that the
MAGA actor.
Is that the worst mainstream casting, do you think, Doug? Like if you were picking like of the people who are like real contenders, is that like
celebrities for
your least
Yeah,
favorite?
yeah, and I like, you know, I
And
like,
you like
I
him as
like
an
him.
actor,
Yeah, I like him
But
as an
just like in
actor.
terms of like picking
Yeah, no,
somebody
out
for
of like
James
all the
Bond.
mainstream guys that are like super possible, like he's the worst. But it's like who's the other mainstream? Like I said, Richard Madden. I don't know how realistic that is. But
So
like he's
I
like
was
a
looking
mainstream.
at the odds checkers for this like multiple times the other day. Let me read you kind of like the top of the list right now. So, well, first of all, the number one on their list is like I had to fucking Google him to make sure that that is who they had the best odds for. Number one on the list is James Norton. You guys know you will know
James.
him. You will know him when you see him, but him being number one is crazy.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you will recognize him. You have seen him before, but like
Russell Brand, James Bond. There you go. That's gonna happen.
Anyway, so James Norton is their number one. Aaron Taylor Johnson is number two.
That's who.
Harris Dickinson is number three.
What?
Theo James, subject of the pod, is number four.
Theo Vaughn.
Henry Cavill is number five. Jack
Theo James
Lowden
would be really bad.
Jack Lowden is number six.
Callum
Also-
Turner's on these odds. What the fuck?
Yeah, but
Yeah, Callum Turner number seven.
that's
Josh
just
O'Connor
dual
number
ego.
8. Paul Mescal number 9. And Reggae Jean Page number 10. That's the top 10.
Okay, so it's not going to be Regé Jean Page.
Would be out of the top 10. That's my favorite one.
I don't even. I don't think he's like great. He's too attractive.
He's a
He looks like
television actor.
Sure, but
he's a television actor. No, that's true. That's true. He's a television actor. But also, like,
I know I just rewatched Dungeons and Dragons, so I have the bias. But like, he's so.
He has this
charming,
vibe where I'm like, you were.
He's. I think
you
he.
were
I
built in
literally
a
think he's
factory
too
to
pretty.
be
I
on
think he's
TV.
like way too pretty to be James Bond.
Yeah.
It's like it's insane.
That's why my pick is David
But he's a good actor, of
Spade.
course. My pick out of all of these
that's who the fucking that's who fucking what's their name, John Voight and Mel Gibson would pick. Is fucking David Spade.
I think Theo James is a really bad pick selection out of all of these guys. Theo James is ridiculous.
Is there a best pick in this top 10? Like who would be like the
I
clear
don't want
cut
any
bet?
of them.
But like if you
Josh
had
O'Connor?
Yeah. Well, but like
Yeah. Josh O'Connor. It would be different. It would be a different kind of James
it'd be
Bond.
different. It's also like not what I
Yeah,
want.
Kelly Reichert.
Sure.
You know, like I don't want
I
him
think
to go from like doing what he's doing now, which is like the best choices of his career, to like the Amazon
Yeah,
MGM.
he's gonna do
James
the
Bond.
Ratatouille remake instead.
I also I'm gonna be honest. Harris Dickinson is a bad pick. Not the kind of energy I would want to be brought at all.
Sure. I don't really.
I think
a lot of
I
these,
think
but
Callum Turner. I don't know him as an actor very well. I think he has a good look for it.
I
though.
think
He has a
Callum
good look
Turner.
for the
I was gonna
fucking
say
Narnia franchise.
no. I think Callum Turner might actually be the best pick here.
I haven't seen him in a movie, so I don't.
You
know
haven't
him
seen The
very
Boys
well,
in the Boat?
but like.
Nope.
No, I haven't seen The Boys. But I think but honestly, for a couple of reasons. One, I think he has, out of all of these guys, has the
He's in
best look
Fantastic
for
Beasts,
sure.
Green
Like kind of
Room.
fits like an idea of James Bond in your head, and the fact that he's not a fucking like really famous movie star
James
helps a
Bond
lot.
actor.
Oh, that's who it. I was like, I know this guy, Jack Lowden, the guy that's like sixth in the odds. It's Saoirse Ronan's husband.
Oh,
That's not.
That's who he is. I was like, I've seen him before. He's married to Saoirse Ronan. That's why I've seen him.
Oh, he can't be Bond.
Aaron Taylor Johnson
guy's not.
obviously could could be James Bond, right? Like, duh. But it's
Yeah.
like
Aaron Taylor Johnson's
it's like
awful casting. I hate it so much.
no, but I agree. I think it's bad casting
I
though.
think it's
I think
bad.
I think that's like it's kind of like it's like as it is as bad as the Henry Cavill casting.
Yeah.
In terms of like it
I
just like
do think
It's
those are
worse.
misunderstands what
ultimately
It's
casting
worse.
is.
like
I'll
people.
say it. That guy
Um,
sucks.
Yeah. Well.
I
Anyway,
think
we
if
still
I
have
had
a
to
couple
pick from these
more
guys, I would
pieces
pick
of-
Callum Turner though.
Sure. Yeah, we still have a couple more pieces of news, and another great transition. Our next piece of news has to do
With
with
Callum
former
Turner?
James Bond.
Oh.
Daniel Craig has dropped out of Sergeant Rock for DC Studios.
What are the odds that this movie fucking happens, bro?
It's happening, Douglas. It is happening. Get ready to learn Jeremy Allen White.
Well, also insane to go from insane to go from, they're like not even the same kind of guys.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
include
that's-
that. I didn't include that here because it's just like a rumor and not like
Yeah.
confirmed.
There's also
yet,
a rumor that Daniel Craig said that fucking loser Luca can't make a movie that makes a dime or an award. That fucking loser bitch. That shit was awful.
Yeah, that is a
That was a
rumor
crazy
that Daniel
rumor.
Craig dropped out because like Queer underperformed
Yeah,
both
that
at the box office
cannot be.
and
That
in
is the most
Oscar
like
awards.
fake news ever.
Yeah,
If
I
Daniel
don't-
Craig
that's
actually
crazy.
believed that, we need to cancel him.
I don't think Daniel Craig cares.
No, I don't think he
He's
did.
like-
I don't know why he dropped out though. I
Yeah.
don't.
No,
He's
I don't
probably
know.
busy.
Well, it's like totally. He could have just been like, "I don't want to do this, bro." It's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but he-
could have
he-
I mean,
like,
it's just like I imagine
What
it's
is this, a
gotta be
Joaquin
fucking
Phoenix?
exhausting
What
to
is this?
play James Bond for 20 years and then be asked to like do a fucking DC Studios movie. Like, I don't want to do that shit either.
Well,
I'd be like,
because
fuck
the
that.
the thing about these DC contracts for the actors is
Oh yeah, they have to play in the
uh,
video game. They have to play him.
Like,
in-
I'm
Yeah, they
surprised.
have to
play
Yeah,
in the
I'm
video
surprised he was
game
even
and the
attached in the first
cartoons.
place. Like, he must
Yeah.
be exhausted. I don't know. It's like,
he might have not even realized. I honestly think it's totally reasonable that like he was like that Luca was like, "Hey, do you want to do this? I got approached for this project." Explain it to him. He was like, "Sure, that sounds good, right?" And then
When James
his
Gunn's
agent.
slimy dick came in the room and was like, "Okay, you gotta play him in the fucking magazine."
Yeah,
now."
exactly. It's like oh, so it's not it's actually not just for this movie with Luca. It's also you have to show like do voice acting for these cartoons and like this and
Yeah.
that. And I think
Yeah, you have to
that's
go to
totally
Comic
reasonable.
Con. You gotta fly to Japan and promote it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have just been why he dropped out. I don't know. It's a speculation, but like
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I thought that pairing was fun.
It's cool. Sergeant, like, listen, that's like, it's cool.
Jeremy Allen White, I'm
Not cool.
I don't know. I
Make
only
it
know
Josh
from
O'Connor.
Calvin Klein. So
sure, Josh O'Connor would be cool, but
No,
also similar to
that makes
similar to the
no
James
sense.
Bond thing. I don't want it. I don't want him doing stuff like this. He's too precious. But
Jeez.
next piece of news, another
But Jim
transition,
Caviezel in
another
that movie.
DC Studios movie. James Watkins is set to direct Clayface for DC Studios. Previously on the pod, we talked about the other Speak No Evil director, the original one.
Yeah.
James Watkins is the remake Speak No Evil director.
Right.
Who
right.
This
right,
is
right.
so
now directing
lame.
Clayface.
Shit is
Um,
so lame.
the Clayface thing's interesting because it seems like the writers for Clayface, like, had like a really interesting idea,
But it's the Mike
right?
Flanagan.
And we're like,
Mike Flanagan wrote.
oh, is it just Mike
Mike
Flanagan? that's
Flanagan
writing
wrote
it?
the script, and then was like, "I don't want to direct this."
Oh, just don't make the movie, bro. Just fucking. Don't
He was
make the
like, "I'll
movie, bro.
write it, but I don't want to direct it." And then it's
No, bro. If I swear to God, if I was James Gunn, I would sit down and be like, Mike Flanagan, you are directing this movie, or we're shelving the scripts.
no, I think Clayface is interesting. Like, I think that's an interesting character. I think the whole like villain movie thing is kind of lame and overdone at this point. It feels like we haven't had that many of them, but it already feels like it's like okay, enough.
Yeah, we don't need.
We don't need a Joker for every guy. But also it's like James Watkins is another. Luca is such an outlier in terms of these DC kind of directors, where it's like everybody
Luca
else.
is the only person that is definitively more talented than James Gunn that has been.
Yeah,
that has
or
been
just like
brought
someone
into
that
this
like has enough.
vision.
I'm not even talking about the
sauce.
movie specifically, but just like has enough credibility where they can say like, no, I'm actually doing it this way. Like it's what everyone else
Yeah.
kind of exists in a way of like you can argue that they're better than or just more talented than James Gunn, but their name recognition and their name value does not equate to them being to kind of get their way. Like James Gunn is still like their dad, whereas like Luca can kind of do whatever he wants. If like he's like I'm doing it this way, or the movie's not like I'm not doing it. Where it's like he kind of has
Right.
that power, where everyone else is just kind of like some fucking you know trash.
Guy James Watkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's somehow
That's my thing. Yeah, big criticism when like all the DC like directors were getting announced though was I was like, it's like James Gunn is like these guys that are just like
it's so
not mini
boring.
hymns, but it's like not yeah, it's like nobody no
Well, it's
interesting
interesting
nobody with any
how
vision.
How
some
interesting.
of the conversation for like the pro DC universe and some of the idea of like okay, this is might be interesting to buy into because it's not Marvel, and the idea of like James Gunn is going to be more like director first, and he's going to be let these guys work and whatever. It's going to be more of that focus rather than how Marvel works. But the problem is if you can't, it doesn't matter if you're not bringing in talented people to direct these movies. Like you can let them do whatever they want. If they suck, it's like it's like the idea of like letting them kind of do and add like unique kind of visual flair and their own style to each movie. If they don't really have any style to begin with, it doesn't really matter. Because it's like they're trying to do like a less homogenized thing, like where Marvel is like super like every movie has to kind of look and feel the same. And the whole thing with DC is like, oh, we're gonna let them kind of be different in each movie. But if the guys are lame, it's like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Comic books are a writer's medium. Television is a producer's medium, and cinema should be a director's medium. And these comic book fucking nerds keep trying to like change like force their way in and be like, no, we're gonna make all these comic book movies like, and we're gonna run it like a fucking really expensive TV show. And it's like you need to like James Gunn. It would be so easy for you to just like do better than Marvel by just like hiring interesting filmmakers and empowering them, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
But
literally what you do is you okay. I now work at DC, and then I just have fucking this shelf, or just like I have a fucking like lineup of just all these like characters and stories you can take, and then people just like come in and be like, okay, I would like to do this one, and then you're like,
yeah,
okay, you
yeah,
go do
no,
that,
yeah,
man.
literally, and like don't worry about like, I mean, sure, care like a little bit, but like mostly like don't care about like the universe
Exactly.
stuff
Like you
or
can't
like
you
canon and
if
stuff.
someone's like
It's
I
like
want to use this
don't worry about it,
character and the
bro.
other guy already is using him, like you shouldn't probably do that. But like don't worry about like fucking crossing over and all that bullshit.
No,
Uh,
exactly, yeah.
or like
That's
seek
a,
out like talented filmmakers and be like, would you want to do anything that we like? Literally any character, any story, you name it.
I feel like that's maybe what happened with like Luca,
Yeah, and he
where
was like,
it's like, hey, start
yeah,
like
I'd
here's like
like to do a Sergeant Rock movie. Actually, that's what he said.
no, but you know, like no, you know what I mean though, where it's
He was
like
like,
I
yo,
don't
Luca,
know.
would you like to do any DC thing? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, any director on Sergeant Rock yet? Or
No, I think that he was like, hey, Luca, do you want to do any DC thing? And
Luca was
then
like,
Luca was
sure.
like, do you have anything that is gay? And
And he was
then
like,
and
nope,
then
sorry.
James Gunn was like, sure,
I
I mean,
mean,
whatever,
the
like
military's
kinda,
kind of
like
gay.
yeah.
Our last
Um,
piece of news for the pod: Avatar Fire and Ash will reportedly open with a title card stating that no generative AI was used in the making of the movie.
bro's pandering, so crazy.
What did he say
Bro
last
has
year?
like
What was that whole scandal? I forget what
no,
happened.
he's he's like on the board of like a big AI
Oh yeah,
company
yeah,
or
that's what it was.
something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't. I
I'm gonna
mean,
be like, here's my take on this. Right, I, I'm too like techno futurist, like techno optimist to be in these art spaces talking about AI because it's like all these people are in these spaces talking about how like AI is fucking the devil, and I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
it's
they
like
don't even sleep
whatever, it's
together.
fine. You know, I'm like, it's fine. Like, who cares, bro?
They have the AI and the devil
My thing
have
is like,
separate rooms.
cool. cool that it's opening with that. It would be cool if that's like, because people really care about it, right? So it'd be cool if that
Yeah.
was like became a
The
standard.
crowd starts
Avatar
cheering.
3 can't have generative AI because they made the movie before that shit was even a topic.
Well, that's also what I was thinking. Avatar 4 is gonna have.
What if
these
the Avatar 4
standards.
says, "Oh yeah, this one's got it though"? Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
It's like Avatar 4 says,
totally,
this
totally
movie has
possible,
generative
bro.
AI.
Yeah. Well,
I hope Avatar 4 is in 180 frames per second.
I don't want that. 140,
Why not?
80, what?
140 frames per second.
oh, you said 180 the first time, I think.
It doesn't matter. What's the 120 frames per second? 60 times 2.
Okay.
What do you want?
Thanks
I
for
don't know
that
what you
quick
want.
math.
You just you don't seem to know what you want.
The distinction doesn't matter. Anything. Oh
All
my
right,
god.
I want five.
Cinema is
I want
captured
5
at.
scoops ice cream on my head.
Yeah. 5 versus fucking 3. You're still got the scoops of ice cream on your head, Owen. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's a big difference. 3 I can handle.
No. Okay. When I
Every
edit the
week-
show, I
Every
will
week
already
I'm
edit
tasked.
this.
No,
Every
what?
week I'm tasked with an
If they
impossible
stay
job.
3 hours in, they might as well get a joke or two, huh?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna wrap up
Who are you
there. Next
saving?
week, episode 107. Like I hinted at earlier, we will have a bit of an Oscars episode, including our reactions to the big night. So we'll see you later.